Hey there, I'm Cyberchroma, and welcome back to another stream where we are doing Rubik's Cube things that almost hit me in the face. That would have been a great start. Yeah, so we are in the midst of trying to make a functional Rubik's Cube in Unity, and we are off to a good start where, assuming this is still all working from last stream where we left off with this, as you can see, it looks like it's working pretty well. We have a auto turn thing on right now. I believe I remember the hotkeys I can set up. I press A to turn that off, and then now I can press buttons on the keyboard that equate to the different turns. So U turns the top face. I can hold Shift U and turn it counterclockwise. It's just the way I set up doing clockwise versus counterclockwise to translate that. And then I can turn it double by just pressing it twice, obviously. But also I have because U2 can be a thing, just is a move that you describe in notation as being its own like individual move. I can hold Control and then U, and it does the double turns. Now, I mean, right, it only goes clockwise. I don't really need like a clockwise and counterclockwise U move, whatever. I mean, technically, if I wanted to, I could, but with whatever, it's fine. Actually, maybe I will, just for funsies, have like at some point more of a stretch thing. I could have like if I'm holding Shift and Control, then it does it the other way. But anyway, it's fine. Anyways, so yeah, we do that. That's for you, and then all the other faces work as well. That's B, F is this, and R, and L. And did I miss any? Maybe. I don't know. But, well, yeah, like front, back, up, down. Oh, down was the one I didn't do. And then right and left are all working as they should. And then the Shift and Control versions are working with those as well. I also, just also made 1, 2, 3, 4. Also do that just so I can have, like, a row of numbers doing those things, and yeah. Anyways, so you see, it's working pretty well. And we did, in the insanity of having this set up, towards the end of last stream that we were doing this, which was 4 streams ago, I actually solved this. And actually, real quick right now, I'm not going to solve the whole thing right now, but just for funsies, to prove a point that this is working. And then also to lead into sort of what we're going to be doing here today. Oh, I immediately pressing wrong buttons. Gotta get used to, yeah, well, what buttons here translate to what here, especially the fact that, right now I'm just messing with this in the scene view. Down here is what's looking at in the game view, which you aren't really paying attention to much right now. I got to, yeah, me doing this will demonstrate some of what, some problems are. So if I just quickly, the first thing that I'm doing usually when you, solve a Rubik's Cube is making the cross, which is currently what I'm doing. As you can see, I'm getting all the yellow edge pieces, and coincidentally some of the corners, but the yellow edge pieces down here to make a cross shape if you're just looking at the edges. Okay, last yellow corner is up there. So that's going to be, this red is currently the R face, and then that's the back face counterclockwise, and then just nope, no, right like that. Anyway, yeah, so bam, made a cross if you ignore the corners. In fact, actually, from here, just to make more of a point, if I just purposely take this corner out by going something like this, this, this. This is fun to mess with, I must say. And just for funsies, it's just, that's going to be F, and then U, and then F prime. Bam, cross. Now, I, and most people, for the most part, depending on how wide your scope is, when you solve a Rubik's Cube, yeah, you make a cross on the bottom face. But usually yellow is not the bottom face that you mess with. Usually, a lot of people are used to making the white cross, which if I just a bam, white cross out of white, and then you put in the corners, as such. Oh wow, basically just double. Oh well, okay, hold on, let me just set up like it not looking like it's solved. You get in all of the corners and then the corresponding edges. That's called F2L, first 2 layers. You do that all at once, and then you're dealing with the yellow face, where depending on how all this is looking, you do different algorithms that you memorize that end up solving the rest of the cube. That wasn't an actual solve thing. That was more just me undoing what I did to make that situation. Anyways, where am I going with this? There are moves that we don't have programmed that I would like to get programmed that aren't just the basic moves. I had a bit of a... didn't I make a notepad document somewhere? I did. Of sort of what we have... Well, I mean, some of these are more wish list things. Some things are higher priority than others. So the next thing that I want to do today is slice moves, and then if we, depending on how long that takes, I expect that this is going to be tricky and just a pain, but we'll see. And then after that, I want to do turning the whole cube as a move. It is a thing in cubing notation. In fact, I have a website here that, this is a very blurry image, but it's the fastest thing I could find. I guess I could potentially find other things. Whatever. It is good enough to just demonstrate my point. It's just that, so you have all the basic moves. Oh yeah, wide moves are a thing. They're going to be their own pain, but I want to skip them for now. I want to get the slice moves here, M, E, and S. That is, you know, these and this and this. I want to get those moves working because, and then I want to follow that up with actually having X, Y, Z, or Z, depending on where you're from, being their own moves that you can do. That in the context of our cube here will then change what you for example, if I want to do an F turn right now, that's turning the green face. If I turn the whole cube, then F would potentially be a different face. I can, or even just like turning white to actually being on the bottom and then solving, you know, white cross it down. You know, being able to do that, and then also with some algorithms that you do having mainly M. It's mostly M that is a common thing, a common enough thing that you do. E and S are very rarely used, or they're more advanced things, but still I want to, you know, have all the moves that you can do in this program working. So that's what we're going to do. And then it would be funny if just, as we continue to do more with this, if I then do more just trying to solve this, it'll be less painful for me to be able to flip things around and like whatever. Even just on my own, in my own spare time, I've been practicing more, getting better at solving Rubik's Cube. I've been trying to anyway. It's a long process. I have a lot of like little things that I'm wanting to get better at. I was spending a while focusing on the cross, the first step of solving Rubik's Cube. I still think I have a lot to go with doing that. I'm now starting to move on to getting better at F2L, that is solving the first two layers all at once and all different edge cases with that and doing that just faster and whatnot. And then I'll be moving on to memorizing a lot of OLL algorithms and a lot of PLL algorithms, and yeah. Anyways, but well, that's just me wanting to get better at Rubik's Cube stuff in my own time. In terms of this program, it'd be funny just to, as I get better with this, using this. Just, the faster I get, in theory, the less turns I have to do to solve this. So then if I'm solving the digital one, that should be ever so slightly faster. In theory, potentially. Maybe. Possibly. We'll see. But can't do solves until I have the moves actually working. And then also where I want this to go eventually is I want chat to be able to control this. That in chat you can type commands and it turns this thing. That's the dream, which we will get to. Let me turn back on the auto scramble thing. Also, this just looks cool. It's memorizing to, yeah, this be cool. So now we got to figure out how we're gonna get slice moves to work in the first place. Right now, how actually let me just I'll go back into it just so I can remind you guys and remind me how our main mechanism for turning is working. So there's, well, quite a few steps to turning, but the basic main thing is that whatever face that we're wanting to turn, we take that centerpiece, that this is, you know, the white, you know, this is the white center. Actually, if I take the whole piece, this is more the piece that is the centerpiece, surrounded by all black, just so that the inside is black when it's turning, you're not seeing through it. Which eventually might, like, I'd like to graphically make this look better, look more like this. You can see that little bit of, like, turns. It's not exact squares, but that's more of a endgame polish thing. But anyways, so in order to turn a piece, we take the centerpiece, we parent all the surrounding edges and corners to that piece, and then we just turn the center, and we turn it the 90 degrees, and then all these turn along with it. And then we unparent these, and then it's good to go. Then there's extra code in the aftermath that's involved in terms of updating, telling a piece where it is on the cube. That if I undo this, actually, is this gonna? Yeah, okay. Well, if I do, well, this, yeah, finish your turn. Like this corner over here, that's not, you know, in its starting place, but it has information going on it. Whatever. Which corner are you? This one. Like this. Currently, it's relative to, you know, this. This is up, this is front, this is right, left, back, down, over there. This is in the position up, left, front. And the order of this matters because that ends up having to do with telling a piece if it's in the correct orientation. Because you can have it, like, this edge that's here is in the right, no, let me, no, not you. Where is, edge, it's white, green, this one. This one is in position up front. Relative to its centers, it is in the right spot that it's supposed to be considered solved. If I, not that, if I go this, this, it's in the same spot, but the fact that these are the other way around, it says front and up, internal code that's going to exist eventually that will correlate to it not being solved, or not being in the right orientation or whatever. Anyway, the code to detect whether or not it's solved is like not super important right now to be able to do the turns, but at least just having a piece know where it is, regardless of the order, just having the two things of knowing that the two directions that it's on are up and front for an edge piece, and corner has three where it's up, front, and left in this one, in this case. And like, this one is down, back, left for over there. Anyways, so right now though, I've been able to simplify things partially in that. So one, centerpieces currently never change direction. They are a direction and then they stay that way. And then it's only the centerpieces that have to worry about finding the surrounding edges and corners, parenting them, turning them, and then updating them. So like that, made things relatively easier. Now things get more complicated, where if we want to turn a slice, and we're gonna start with M. I gotta also, thing I always because I don't have to use a lot, I get tripped up on, is which direction is which. So for all of the other moves, they're consistent, where if you're looking at that face, turning it clockwise is that move, and turning it counterclockwise is the inverse. So F, clockwise. R, clockwise. B, you look at it and turn it clockwise. So from back here, you turn it that way. Just imagine if you're facing that face, what way would clockwise be, and then counterclockwise being, the other way. Then, like, that's fine and consistent. The slice moves are not that way. And then, and then the turning the whole cube moves are also a little bit strange. It seems inconsistent, but it's just, how it was made, how it was designed, blah, blah, blah. Just memorize it and it'd be fine. So what's funny is that me programming it here will potentially help me get better at memorizing where they are. For a while, like even just a few months ago, I, never really do many algorithms that involved doing B turns or D turns. So I tripped up many times of like, if I need to do a D turn, thinking like, it's this way, it's this way. I'm getting better now just from practicing and doing algorithms that have those things. Even just, if I load up this, bam, and bam, doing the scramble at the top of, oh wait, that's not, oh, shoot, this is, oh, right, hold on, let me last minute just change something real quick. This is supposed to be using this monitor. Oh no, it's gonna be gigantic. Oh, I didn't account for that. Oh no. Hold on. This is not the plan. Let me just last minute fix something. Everything. Hold on. If I put you back to, wait, why is that off still? Hold on. What? Hold on. Let me back up to this. Back when everything made sense. Why are you up there? Okay, so like I have this website, which isn't even showing now. Hold on. This website that is, solving, or, used as a timer. I have it plugged into this thing, good for, solving cubes, but they're timing them, whatever. But it had this scramble on the top. The point I was getting at is even doing this, just more practice of, be able to, like, because I can do R, F, you just, but I've been thinking about, like, what is clockwise, what isn't. But, like, B moves, I, to some degree, I have to, like, which way is it? Don't turn it the wrong way by accident. But just, last couple months, do more practicing and better at that. So in theory, that may happen more as we're programming this stuff with the with the slice moves. I also never started this. Oh, whoops. Background music. Go. Not that. Let's go. Oh, which one are you? Hold on, 1 second. Realize I didn't set up. Yeah, you're fine, I guess. Okay. Let me real quick though. I have to do a bit of tinkering. I didn't realize, is this gonna be messed up too? Well, not that. This is messed up because those are meant to be, my other monitor over here, but I shuffled around my monitors recently and now they are bad. Okay, hold on. So this is gonna be, but why when I do this, why do you decide to become that massive? And can I, fix that. I kind of just have to do it manually, don't I? Well, darn. And then this is good. But then it was so, I had it, you know, set up nicely, and I can't easily just like, actually, well, even correcting that isn't gonna, hold on. Don't mind me. Either I do this now or do it later. Would like to, you know, if I'm fixing stream layout stuff, not do that mid-stream, but given we're doing stream relating to solving Rubik's Cubes, I may be, you know, using this in the middle of the stream at some point. I'd rather have it be, you know, working and proper. Okay, that's good enough. And then I can refine it more after. I just wanted to get it to be functional. So this should be, shouldn't it just be half the size? But I can't. OBS doesn't have an easy make this thing half the size necessarily. In fact, I also have to like change the cropping. Let me real quick get this. Oh, you're hooked up to this. Yep. Let me just go timer just so I can you know, position that based on what it is. Okay, hold on. And I gotta line it up again as well. Well, this is not good. I need to make sure that if it goes over a minute that that's all in frame, but then it needs to be a proper box. Hold on. It's just fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least I have that, like, my borders that I made around a lot of the different parts are samey. Well, actually, moreover, like that. They're all 5 pixels, so I can at least, I know that. I can work with that, but that's fine. At least, something like that. Like, I can get it close enough now that I can, like, correct it, get it more exact between streams. Okay, that looks fine. Then if I stop the timer, then you're also in frame. Okay, good enough. I also, so that the length of that scramble can be different sometimes. So hold on. Yeah, or not that. Hold on. And go, and then make sure if it generates. Actually, well, I can have it generate a few ways going like this. They're all in frame. Oh no, I don't like you not being in frame. Hold on, you're a long one. So hold on. Tiny bit more correcting of just this needs to be in frame with a few more pixels on either side just in case. And then like that, and then you be something like there. Good enough. Okay, good enough for now, and I can fine tune it more later. It's fine. Anyways, the point I was making was just about whatever, making different types of turns or whatever. Back to, so slice moves. I gotta make sure I do this right now. What direction is clockwise versus counterclockwise, or, you know, or a, well, yeah, clockwise versus counterclockwise move in terms of MES. So, M is this way, M prime is this way. So, which is weird because there's like looking at left, it's clockwise, I guess, but usually you think in Rubik's Cube terms, you kind of think of right, front, and up as kind of the main 3 that you'd work with. You'd think you make the slice moves based on those, but they're not, and it's weird. Yeah, so M is like if you look at the left face and then go clockwise, so it's that. E is looking at the top going this way, which kind of actually, so that's going from the bottom looking upward is clockwise, I guess. And then S is looking at the front. That's the only one that makes sense. It's like going clockwise relative to front. So it's like front, left, down. Kind of just think of going in clockwise in those directions, I guess. Yeah, I can also think of like looking at some of the pieces that actually move. This piece, the front up piece coming at me, I guess, to be the M. For E, it's the left piece coming at me to do that. And, well, front piece, that doesn't apply. It's just, but the front one, so S is the only, like, normal one here. Anyways, so yeah, that's funky, but it is what it is. Guts to memorize it. Also, for those curious, I have, I've been making this whole thing with white on top, green in front. That is like the standard at Rubik's Cube tournaments. When they scramble the cube and they put it in front of you, it's always scrambled white on top, green in front, and yeah, that's just how that goes. So, you know, might as well be consistent here just for funsies, even though I don't have to be. Just yeah, for fun. Okay, so actually planning how we're gonna do this now. So this gets more complicated in terms of, you know, a move like this where it's just a center that stays still and electric corners and edges that rotate relative to it. For a slice move like this, there's no individual piece that all these pieces rotate around. They rotate around the center of the cube, which right now doesn't really exist. So I'm thinking that we're basically gonna have to make an invisible center core piece. Now, on a real cube, there is a core piece that these sort of spin around. But in digital programming world, yeah, I'm thinking that we're gonna make an invisible core piece to do slice moves. And that's gonna need to, well, this is gonna be, get more complicated of how it needs to detect what centers need to turn around it and what edges need to turn around. We can ignore corners. That's at least one thing that we get out of this. We can ignore corners. So it's just this core piece looking at all the edges and centers and knowing which ones to turn and then turning them. Doing the same, at that point it can be the same parent, turn, unparent trick. And then after rotating, then we need to run the same aftermath code that then tells the pieces how they've updated, how they've changed, which is going to be funky. Mainly on the centers. We had a bit of a trick that we were able to do with all the normal turns that might fall apart with slice moves, but we're gonna see. For centers, it's basically, I might be able to use that, like, clockwise enum thing that I made, or make new ones for the slice move. We'll see. But define a rotation of, up, front, down, or relative to this, if I do an M move, up, front, down, back, and then have it sort of proceed to the next one. And maybe it's just a matter of each center proceeds to the next one, and that's what it now is. And each edge, they both need to change. In theory, this might, when I turned an edge like this, I was able to be like, oh, the front part is still facing the front. The up part is now changes from up to being facing right. Because from this, I treat this differently as doing this. This is a different orientation of the piece, and I want to keep track of that. Using as an example, if I'm not being clear enough, the white-green piece, I would define this in my program as currently being up front, because I've up-down taking priority. Wait, let me just double-check that that's true. Yeah. Yeah, this one is up front. If I want it to be here, it is now down front in that order, because order matters with this to know that it's in the right orientation. Where if I do this, its position should now be front down rather than down front. It's different. Just trust me that it's different, and it will matter. It will make sense. So just that's a thing that needs to happen. But if I basically take each component, and each component is run through this algorithm that goes to the next thing, and then maybe that could work. And it only needs to happen on edges and centers. It does not need to run on corners. So yeah, interesting. A thing that will potentially get more complicated is then we will write an actual, some kind of algorithm to be like, hey, is the cube currently in a solved state? I can't just say, is the piece back where it started, necessarily, because where it started doesn't matter once centers start changing, right? It needs to be, in the right place relative to the centers around it. But we'll get there when we get there. And it might be a matter of, look at a center and then have it look at the pieces around it and then do those pieces, I might just have that in the edge infos and center corner infos, whatever, that they have the enum of what direction they are, and then just having a separate enum of their actual colors, and then just making sure that the colors match. That would be the easiest, least error prone way of doing it. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, let's start actually coding stuff, shall we? So I have just said that I think I'm gonna need a invisible core piece, and I can't just use this parent-most Rubik's Cube thing, because, turning that turns the whole thing. I'll have to see when we get to turning the whole cube as a move, if I can get away with that everything is just parented here, just, turning this parent Rubik's Cube object, or if that's going to cause me some issues down the line, and if I'd rather just have an invisible core piece under here, everything gets parented to it, they turn, and then they all update, which that also is going to be just messy, but, we'll see. I mean, to some degree, I might be able to, I don't know if I'll be able to cheat this or if it'd be too annoying to try to do, but turning the whole cube, you know, like this, isn't that different than pretending to one at a time do this move, you know, this move, this move. So, in theory, once slice moves are there, I should have all of the code relevant to updating something based on a certain turn, that I might just need to run a combination of those functions, maybe, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, slice moves. We're starting with M, as I said, and then once that's completely working, then we'll do E and S, and hopefully they should be, you know, not that bad. So if I'm just to create an invisible, like, it doesn't need any actual geometry representing it or anything like that. We're just gonna call this core piece, and it's going to, it is at the center of the cube. It is, wow, cool. As a, and I don't really need to test this, but just for funsies, if I take, you know, the relevant pieces for an M move, an M turn, just to further conceptualize what it is I'm trying to do. Actually, while having all these highlighted, I can, you know, do this, right? And then, whoa, they're turning. Oh, wait, this isn't grabbing, wait, what happened to your face? Oh, right, the, because of reasons, the faces in here turning black doesn't actually happen until we're in play mode. So technically, if I go into play mode in first frame and technically pause. Oh, the auto turn thing is on, and I don't know why that did that, but okay. Hold on, just let me. I'm gonna want to do this anyway, just turning off that auto turn. Okay, so let's try this again. Can I get auto view? Come on. Just the center pieces. No, okay, that's not gonna behave nicely. It's fine. Let me just one moment. Grab all of. Oh, give me that. Yeah, grab all these and parent them to core piece, and then it should just be a matter of taking the core piece, turning them, and then ta-da, you know, everything turned, and then unparent them, and then move on. So that's the idea. Does this core piece need any code on it? I don't need a... These things all needed the center infos to have... Well, oh wait, well... Actually, I guess you will kinda... Well, will you? Hold on. Or maybe not. Edge info, as an example, it has the information telling it what direction it is. We don't need that on the core. But this turn thing, I guess, well, after a turn has happened, the Rubik's Cube Manager code calls this code that then tells the edge to sort of update itself based on the turn that happened. Might be able to just do that. Have the Rubik's Cube Manager call an edge info and say, hey, a slice move happened. Which I don't know if it's going to be able to run the same function as this, just with a different set of direction stuff, or if I'm going to want to make a separate, like, turn slice, and it's going to have special stuff going on. I guess we're going to find out. Okay, so I guess we just start going and we see. So the first thing I need to do is have actual, input to be able to do this, so... Oh, also, well, I think I said this, but, like, yeah, M move will have the same, be able to turn double and be able to turn counterclockwise. That's a thing. Oh, hey, Cosmic Shadows, hey, hello, welcome to the stream. What's up, nerd? Hey, hello. Yeah, I'm doing some very nerdy programming right now. If they've just got here, I am, once this goes into play mode, bam, I'm making a Rubik's Cube in Unity, because reasons. And so far, it's doing all this stuff. Very neato. Also, I see you're using solve a Rubik's Cube, so solve a Rubik's Cube I shall. So we have this that is coming along well. My eventual plan for this is to have it be running in the bottom corner of the stream, and if you type stuff in chat, then it actually turn this. So you can type whatever the commands actually are, like F, B, L, R, R prime, B2, whatever, and have it actually turn all this stuff. As well as some extra potential things that might happen. We have a bit of a wish list of things that we would like to be a thing, but we'll see how many of those we get to. An auto-solve thing will be the biggest pain that I don't know if that'll ever actually happen, but it would be very cool if it did. Anyway, so I'm gonna real quick, bam, switch to this scene, which, that opens up a new one of those. That's fine. All right, and blah, over here, and blah. I've been doing a bit of practicing, trying to get faster at solving this. But I yeah, it'd be it'd be a work in progress. All right, so real quick, 3. Oh, actually, no, let me actually do a bit of planning. So hold on. So you there, and then like, where am I not finding? Oh, there, you're there. Oh, this is. Don't love this. Oh, this is actually being annoying to plan. Well, no, if I do that, then that there. All right, we're just gonna go. We're gonna attempt. Also, the auto spinning cube is still running in the background. Don't worry about that. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Is everything working right? Yes, it looks like 3, 1, go. Took a while before I even took a turn. That's fine. This and then don't mind as I oh, then don't as that gets stuck and as I flounder around trying to do anything. Something like that. Oh, this, and then, no, that's a messy one. Hold on. This, and, oh no, you're flipped around. That's fine, and almost, wow, I was about to say almost done. I said it very preemptively. This, and then a little bit something like, oh, that's, oh no, okay, I was looking for a way to make that faster. It's an annoying thing that's gonna take a bit more time, but that's fine. 3, 2, 1, and bam! 48 seconds. Huzzah! Very cool. Yeah. I messed up a few times in the middle there, but that is all right. Let me go back to blam, and there we go. You know what? I'm gonna hang out next. I don't know. I have been very busy the last little bit. We'll see. It's something we'll talk about off stream, I think, but at some point maybe. The Super Bowl just happened, and thus with my work relating to sports, I've been extremely mega busy getting done that stuff in time. And then NASCAR is happening last weekend, and some other car-related sports thing that just work's been all on fire dealing with that. But getting through it. Also, it is 9:14, so I've got to real quick go feed my cat. As I do every stream that passes like 9:15-ish. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I will be back in like 5 minutes, and then we will actually start programming this thing. Oh, whoa. When did this become slightly... That's not supposed to happen. Well, that because of things I was messing around with in play mode. This should never get slightly off-turned, and if it's doing that, that's actually a big problem? Well, it's something I'm going to address later, not right this second. In all the messing around we did, like, in the last many streams, that hasn't been happening. I don't know if I just now, like, messed around with this in, like, oh, actually, wait, you're slightly off, aren't you? Oh, just now when I was making a point, I, accidentally made these slightly off. Let me undo. Hold on. Everything good? Everything good. Okay. That's fine. Anyways, I will be back in but a couple minutes. Yeah. All right, I am back, and now programming shall begin. How long? It's been 40 minutes, and haven't done the actual programming. Although, well, yeah, let's do some actual attempt at coding and getting this to work, which I imagine is gonna have a lot of issues, but oh well. Even stream started super late today. I usually like to, in theory, start my streams around 7:30ish. We started today at what, like 8:40 or something. Just got, yeah, extra. Not having a lot of time, but that's all right. We make do. Okay, so in terms of actual coding stuff, M move this. We need to first make it so that I can actually set off the thing. I have these buttons that. Actually, wait, is this where I want to put this? Oh, this is the random turning thing. I mean, yeah, I guess we put it there at the same time. It'll simplify things later on. Yes. Okay. So this is our random auto turner thing. It can do web moves in theory. Down here, I want to just blah. If I press, we're gonna make it M. Or I guess I go down the numpad of. Oh, I'm gonna run out of keys. Well, I've like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7, 8, 9 can be the slice moves, and then 0, minus, plus can be the like turning the whole cube. Don't love that. For wide moves, do I want to make it like? I just realized that I don't actually have how many? I think I might use Alt. That might be weird, but and wide moves are rare, and I guess I could make that work. And then that works with my other thing. Can I do? Yeah. Oh, that's weird. So I could be holding Alt R to do a wide R turn, and then like Alt Shift R to do a counterclockwise wide R move. That's funky, but I guess if it works, it works. This is more like testing code for me. As I said, the long-term idea is to have it the chat like types in stuff. So it's just about, you know, in chat you type. I don't actually know what the full. I don't know if the functions are gonna have like prefixes. Like usually commands in Twitch it's like exclamation mark and then a thing. But I don't know if I'll set it up as like exclamation mark like Rubik's space. And then something, or like turn something. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. But emails chains. Hi, Architect Ent. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. So like this ain't great. It potentially could be a switch statement like these are, but I don't know. I don't treat this code as that important, and it might change. This started as test code, right? Like in the long term, this code doesn't need to exist. Even this code. Maybe this one a little bit, but in the long term, this code dies. This is for me to test that temp things are working. So I'm more fine with it being a bunch of if statements. Even that, like, you can't really make. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm not hooking up this through Rewired right now. No, thank you. I much prefer to. It's so much simpler to just test if we've pressed a key. But like, I don't think I could make this format of input.get key down. You can't make a switch statement out of that, can you? Oh, not easily. Anyways, this works and it's fine. Next turn. Also, hello, welcome. Hey, everything got us. Hey, also, hello, everyone's stopping by. Also, I just realized, my camera turned slightly high? Maybe. I'll turn it down slightly since I'm doing more Rubik's Cube solving, so it's actually like on screen. Hello. Oh, or you didn't, okay, I started to scramble this. You didn't redeem solve Rubik's Cube, but you asked the magic 8-ball cube thing of, will anything work today? Not sure how, but yes, that is the perfect sentiment for this stream, because we are trying to do the insanity of not, the auto turn is gonna, well, actually, M won't do anything. M will just act like a frame of doing nothing. We have this thing that is turning. We are now going to attempt to do the insanity that is slice moves, turning the middle in some fashion, specifically this way to start, and then we'll get this way working, and then we'll get this way working. That's the order we're going in. Well, technically doing one way and then the other way of one axis, but yeah. Anyways, we're gonna do a quick solve of this. Oh, right, every time I press this, oh, I got a thing to potentially clean up is that I have my Rubik's Cube program. Oh, and that's slightly, whatever. I had to last minute correct this because I rearranged my monitors and stuff. So it's slightly off, but it's fine. I'll fix it like between now and next stream or something. For one stream, we can deal with that. As soon as I start the timer, that like AO, oh wait. Oh, and this corrects itself. Never mind, it's on, proper, I guess. Whatever. All right, scramble looks like this, where we got stuff going on in places. Okay, bam, bam. Ooh, I have a where's orange? Oh, I have a nice cross. Oh, I have a 2-move cross by randomness. I mean, I didn't like scramble at that. I didn't use the official scramble or whatever. At one point, eventually, once I care more about being official and proper, I'd like to, you know, actually use the scramble that's at the top of the screen while I'm just messing around and still trying to get better. Not so important. Oh my god, I can plan my first F2L pair. Whoa, okay. Hold on, this might be... No, I'm not... I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna jinx myself by saying it. This might be a fast-ish solve, but by saying that, it's now not gonna happen. But first few turns will be fast. Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Wait. No, Right, okay, well, we had it, then I definitely, I tried to do an extra clever thing and then messed it up, but, you know, don't worry about it. Hold on, I undid the speed. It's fine, and then you go there, and then you go, that, and then this to there, and then, oh, well, in case I don't know, that's painful. And hey, whoa, 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 whoa. That could have been so much faster. I got very lucky there in that I basically got a PLL skip, as it's called. That's fast. I mean, I can count it, but I got lucky in many avenues. But it could have been so much faster if I didn't mess up the middle. But if I didn't mess up the middle, then the end bit wouldn't have been as fast. So take that as you will, I guess. You need to give Steam Core permission to ping. Oh, right, that is a thing I meant to do. Yeah, I forgot that that's broken. I need to do that. Yes, I will do that between now and next stream. I meant to do it between now and last stream, then I forgot to do that entirely. Also just had a busy day today. We started stream super late, but, you know, oh well, 'tis how it is. All right, back to over here land. Yeah, so 35 seconds, that's cool. I think that, like, technically, depending on your definition, that qualifies as maybe the fastest I've solved the Rubik's Cube with a timer, but I don't count that. I almost, like, other than arbitrary, like, oh, I can solve it in roughly under a minute, under 50 seconds or whatever, I'm not too concerned with tracking my actual total completely best time until I feel like I'm good enough to properly, you know, use the scramble at the top, only do the, you know, the, Rubik's Cube tournament rules of you have 15 seconds to look at the cube, and then you have to start solving, otherwise it's like a 2-second, add-on to your time or whatever, stuff like that, but, because that's when then the time becomes more official and proper, and, I can still get lucky in terms of the solve, but whatever. Anyways, it's whatever. Yeah, today I was actually doing quite a bit, well, as I've been like waiting, you know, for code to compile and stuff like that with my work, I've been doing more solving of, more practicing of cube stuff, which is different areas of it. Anyways, yeah, let's continue, shall we, with the actual programming of things. So we just started that we're trying to make this move possible, and I rambled earlier about conceptually how we're going to do it, so let's start actually making it. Okay, so first I just need to add in... Ooh. So I can press the M button, and then that will be passed in as an instruction. Down here... Oh, I should just close those. Down here, then I need to actually be like, oh, they pressed M? That means stuff. So... And at this point, everything might break apart. All of this is assuming... A lot of code that assumed that, hey, we're taking one center based on the direction that we passed in, and we were turning that center. So I was able to just be like, oh, we pressed F, so the direction of center we're looking for is front, and the axis to turn on is the back axis in terms of just to have what is clockwise for that. This all breaks apart with M moves, because we're not turning a center. Do I define... So either I pass in, like, completely different information and then have, like, some special check that says, hey, this is a slice move, so, like, run a completely different function. Or I try to, like, make this work in here in, like... So I have this direction boolean here. Do I add an extra slot here that's, like, core or, like, slice... You know, whatever. That feels wrong to do, and there's probably a better way to do that. I feel like this direction thing should stay being like the directions of a Rubik's Cube as they are: up, down, left, right, back, front. So if I want to not use this, okay, so we have directions to turn, and then we're also going to have to deal with when we have X, Y, Z. That's going to be things. And when wide moves, I feel like to some degree could fall into this category and have some extra flag. Oh, this default is like, oh, hey, if we passed in a thing that doesn't apply, then skip it. This might need to stop at some point. Yikes. Okay, so like, now I'm trying to figure out how conceptually I want to do this. Maybe it'll be easier to figure out how this should lead into the turning code if I write, once we assume that we've detected the right turn, see like, okay, what does that turn actually need to function? What information do I need to pass in? So maybe we start with that. Okay, so let's just start down here being like, we want to pass in, so even at this point, it's already flawed, right? Here, to execute a turn, I pass in the centerpiece that is doing the turning, right? You know, so like this guy is the centerpiece that's turning. The axis to turn on, which is, they're related. Could I actually get away with, there might be a world where I could get away with simplifying this if this has its stored direction, but whatever. Right? And then amount to turn is basically whether it's 90, 180, or negative 90 for how much to turn. That still applies. For middle turn, how about this? We'll start writing it as its own function, and then I'll see how much overlap there is at the end, and then how much I want to like combine this into one mega function. So slice turn, execute slice turn. It's definitely gonna pass in an amount to turn. Instead of passing a center info, it needs some information on the type of slice. I'm gonna say that for right now, we're just gonna hard code this being a middle slice move. Hey, I see that all being redeemed. I also see this being redeemed. Nyahaha. I'm drinking before it's actually popped up on the screen. It should pop up now. There it is. Cool. Oh, can you, can you, use more than that answer? Better not tell you. Oh, no. Yeah. All right, yes, okay, so, if I'm going to rig this for right now, and we're gonna just pass in this, and then see what variables we actually need, and then make them input, whatever. We're gonna have this hard-coded to being, a single 90-degree M turn. So how do we do this now, is the question. First and foremost, I need a reference to, I have all the centers, the edges, the corners. I need a reference to the singular, core that we have, that, like, it's not gonna have an info thing, because it doesn't need it, I don't think. So just this transform that is the core piece. When we have that, we've got to figure out, so start rotation. So set piece to turn basically is replaced by, it's going to be the core that is doing the turning. So in theory, all of this, I can blindly replace, well, this might be a mistake, but for now I'm going to do it. Actually, no, I'll not do it just so I can keep track of, maybe changing things, definitely changing things that would then need to change again, whatever. I barely know what I'm doing here, how I'm going to do this. We're gonna figure this out. Okay, so to do a slice turn based on how other turns work, we define a start rotation and we define where it wants to go, of looking at just the core. And I guess that's where we started, getting the core to turn, even if the other associated pieces don't turn yet. So start rotation is gonna be, well, yeah, the rotation has right now, that makes sense. Desired rotation is, we need, so this is the axis it needs to turn on, which is going to be, for a slice turn, it's going to be one of three things. It's going to be this axis, in E turn is, which way is it? It's this way, so this axis, or it's going to be this axis. Yeah, so it needs to be one of those three things. Ideally, pointing in the positive direction. So, I guess I will pass in. That is going to need to be a thing that is passed in based on what type of slice move we're doing. Vector 3, axis to turn on. We're going to go equals. So, for an M move, that axis is going to be vector 3 dot left, I think. This is going to be correct, or it's going to be exactly in the flipped wrong direction, but it'll be close enough, hopefully. Sorry, what's your problem? You mean that... Vector 3 dot left is not a compile time constant? I guess not. How about... I'm just curious about the other ones, right? Really? I mean, like, I can... That's fine, I guess. It's just weird. So I just go new... new vector 3... No, new vector 3... nope, stop everything that you're trying to do. Is it because there's errors elsewhere that it's, like, erroring for reasons that it shouldn't be? I don't know. Left is... Wait, even this you don't like? How are you not a compile time constant to be new? What? Okay. Whatever, it's fine. I didn't need it anyway. It's fine. Whatever. I swear that I've... You're telling me that even here in the compile's fine, I can't do this. Really? That's just weird. I mean, it's like... Yeah, it's weird, but whatever, I can deal with it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Axis to turn. I'm gonna say, just as a note to myself, M move, axis to turn on equals vector 3 dot left. I already forget whether it needs to be capital or lowercase. Is it lowercase for these? Surely I've used it somewhere. Lowercase is fine, okay. Blah and blah. Okay, this. Okay, that was the easy part. Now on to the hard stuff. So, we have the start rotation. We have where it needs to turn. This chunk is all about then saying, hey, if this is the thing that's turning, what pieces need to also turn? So this is the part that needs to calculate, hey, you know, this, those centers, and this edges are the ones that are also going to be turning. And I think this is going to be the potentially tricky part. That I think we deal with one at a time. Like, we deal with first the centers and then the edges or something. But I think for now, just to start here, we're going to skip this entirely. Because I just want to be able to test that just this invisible core piece is going to turn, which I'll only be able to test by looking at the transform, I guess, but that's fine. Or if I manually parent something to it temporarily and whatever. Okay, so this part, do the turn, is going to... You know, you're gonna do the turn, right? In theory. So, this core is the thing that I guess I can also take out the dot transform dot rotation part. Because it is passed in as a transform directly. Okay, so, if it's 180, it does a special thing here, so it turns the way I want it to turn. Which, actually, is that gonna apply for... Yeah, no, it should. Yeah, that's fine. And then this does the turn. We don't need to get into the specifics of how this works. It's fine. It rotates towards. That's all you need to know. It rotates towards where it needs to go. And then at the end of this, it's like smoothly over the course of many frames. Then it like hard sets it to the desired rotation. So there's no like, it's off by like 0.01. That can't happen or everything falls apart. And then if this part is saying, here's the things that should turn, it's like, over down here is, now that we turned those other pieces, the random corners and edges, now we need to call a function on them that says, hey, you turned, deal with that. Update the fact that you turned and figure out where you now are on the cube. We're also going to temporarily comment that out. Yeah. So, in theory, if I now drag and drop... I don't need to make... I think the core piece of prefab, it's just an empty game object. Seems like a waste to do that, but whatever. So... add that there, this, bam. If I go into play mode, we're not going to see much. But in theory, if this is working, I should see this up here have these numbers change if I press M. Well, that's not right. Why is that happening? What? All right, wait. Actually, I have many questions. So one, I never called this, I I never called this function, so I get why it didn't run. But why did a down move happen? Oh, because I copied this and said, oh, we'll come back to it later. And then I never came back to it later. So, you know, makes sense. Alright, so if I want to be able to even just test that part before we can get to the figuring out what turned, I gotta now figure out how to pass this into calling this instead. I think that... hold on. So this is the part that would need to change. Like, if it's a turn move, if I'm to temporarily make a Boolean that we'll deal with later. So, is slice move a turn? Why did I do any of that? Equals, let's say, just true for now, right? Whatever. Then it's just gonna be, you know, if is slice turn, then do this stuff. Else, do other things. If we got a slice move, then it's gonna be execute, turn. I'm just realizing now that, also, we passed in this stuff. Which then this, from up here, is gonna be vector c dot left from the thing that I said a second ago, and then this doesn't matter yet. Should I preemptively, if this is gonna continue to grow, because we're gonna have something that's like, oh, it's a slice move, and that's special. It's a, like, whole cube turn, and that might call a special set of functions. And, like, wide moves might do a different thing. I might, just to simplify it, kind of, have it look like it makes more sense. Oh, I don't know when this got added up there, that's fine. Make this an enum called, like, move type. I'll call it move instead of turn, that's fine. Which is normal, the normal type of move, but everything else is not normal. Slice, whole, just whole, like the whole cube turn, I don't know. Whole cube, something like that. And then, wide is gonna be a, but maybe, it might be, will that be it? We'll see if I need more things, but just to start having that, seems like it makes sense. So instead of this, having it be, move type, next move type or something equals this dot normal. And now this can be a fancy switch statement. Woo! Switch statement check this guy, and this thing can go away. And then in here, then fix the formatting of everything. So the case where it is normal, then we're gonna call this guy. And then break, and then, well, actually, we're not going to be calling that one, but just to start writing this out, this dot slice, then it's going to go, actually, this is going to call this, and then have the break part, and then this is going to be over here, and then this is going to be something like there. Okay, so if next move type is move type dot normal, do this thing. If it's move type dot slice, do that thing. Wow. Yes. Okay, so then, and now I gotta, like, rather than define this here, we'll define it, like, up at the top, I guess. And then, in theory, all of these are normal moves, and I guess for now, I was considering whether this would need to be somehow its own switch statement check thingy, but I guess in here, just next move type equals this dot slice, and we're not worried about the other ones right now. Yeah, that actually works nicely, kind of, except that, do I want to define a direction dot none? Nah, it's fine. Just so that the later code isn't freaking out. Actually, never mind. Does it? Well, so this part's gonna be the same. This is the bit I was like, oh, this is freaking out because it doesn't have a default value because there's a case where it doesn't get set. If we have a slice move, then this part shouldn't run. So just if next move type, actually, no, I can do one better than this. Want to see this funky stuff? This can be in here. If the switch type is normal, then we do this stuff. Why are you problematic? Oh, you don't, well, like, fine. Okay, I was trying to be clever with it. I mean, clever enough. Technically, it shouldn't ever get there and not have a value, but, oops, equals direction dot up, I guess. Fine, you can have that, but I just hope that's not gonna break anything later. It shouldn't. If I code good, then it shouldn't break, which means it's gonna break. Nah. Okay, execute turn. Blarg. Execute slice move. Then this is gonna have its own stuff going on in a minute. Okay, so bare minimum with all that, just to say, now it's calling the function and it differentiates M moves and normal moves, and there's a system in place to eventually separate other moves. Yeah. Well, wide moves and then normal turns, we'll see if they actually need separation or if there's like, I don't know, fancier stuff that'll happen there, but we'll see. Okay, okay, if I press M, we should now see, we won't see anything happen, but up here, this bit should update. Yeah. Oh, well, even, like, the gizmo in here. It looks like it's turning the right way. That is the direction it should go in. This kind of going down this way. That is correct information. Woo! All right, that's, like, step 1 of many. We've already done many steps of many. That ain't step 1. We got other bits working. But now we gotta, you know, we got our invisible core piece is turning the right way. And it doesn't need to update itself based on how it turns, so as far as that goes, core piece is working. What's now not working is the rest of it, the parts that actually matter. So let's fix that up, shall we? So if I'm to uncomment this code and now have to actually deal with it, first of all, in theory, as I said, for a slice move, no corners turn. So I should be able to delete all this, that corner-related code. In the other code, we deal with edges and corners separately, kind of for this reason, because then it's simplified. We get to just go through our list of edges, and that's it. Although, I'm actually going to need to define, we have currently turning edges and currently turning corners. We now are capable of having, currently turning centers as a thing. Because up until now, with all the basic moves, what's your problem? Yeah. With all the basic moves that we had, centers never move. Now they can. Wow, it's magic. So down here, not there, down here, I guess I actually will preemptively copy this because this is the bit that's gonna be like, here's the edges that are turning, and now to make the same thing but for the centers. Figure out which other center pieces should turn with us, parent them to us. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, then instead of basically everywhere that's edge related is now going to be center related. So center info, center in centers, and then center. Oh, well, okay. So now, well, in here is what's now going to change because well, here I'll still just replace this, but this actually. Going off of center piece to turn or whatever. That's the bit that gets funky. In fact, I want to... I don't know if this will make things more or less complicated. Blah, blah, blah. We'll start with centers first, I think is how I want to do this. So, commenting out that again, temporarily. Just looking at the turning centers, now all this has to change. We want to... We want to, depending on how, like, assuming that later on the cube can have any orientation, just whatever orientation we're in, whichever centers happen to have the directions up, front, down, back, I guess. Huh. If we're doing a slice move, then we need to find all the centers that have one of those directions? Is that actually the way to do this? So, I mean, it is the case kind of like if I'm defining a center move as this arbitrary, you know, thing of what things should turn. When I was turning like one face, like for a normal turn like this, it was easy to be like, oh, we're turning the front face. So every piece that has front as one of its directions, that's one that turns. But when we're doing a slice move like this, I'm hoping I don't have to just manually define it. Like define a list of well, oh no, but then, oh god, it's gonna get... For edges, for centers, this might work. Edges might get more complicated, right? Because if I'm like, oh, the valid edges that are turning are ones that are up, front, down, back, But then, you know, this one has up as one of its... I guess gotta check for both? Is that really what I gotta do? Define an M move as like, oh, the directions up, front, down, back. Go through all the centers and find the ones that match one of those directions. And then go through all the edges and find edges that both parts of the direction that an edge is considered as is in that list. Is that the way I really gotta do it? I guess so. And then on top, then once that's done, when we go to E moves, like this kind of slice, do I just gotta define 3 sets of direction lists? Or can I use the thing I defined over here? I can just reuse this in some fashion, even if the order isn't right. Well, actually, hold on. If I'm doing an M move, that is up, front, down, back. Technically, this is backwards, but technically these are the directions I gotta worry about. Just deciding. Like, the name of this is more... It doesn't cost me that much and will make things way more readable and consistent if I go... slice M. I was gonna say middle, but slice M, slice E, slice S, I guess. Turn directions. And then define this in order as up, front, down, back, I guess. While I'm here, I will make the ones for the other turns. It might be easier to, you know, be like, here's the difference of why this is worth existing. Or something. I don't know. So the E directions was weird. So like the more basic turns, like R is right, F is front. That makes sense. M, E, and S are weird on why they are even those names. Do they actually have things that they stand for? Is E like equator or something? Even if that is, let me just Rubik's Cube slice names or something? Is there like a what do these letters mean? Tell me. Not for, I know what the normal ones mean. Tell me what the complicated ones mean. I know for a whole cube turn, XYZ doesn't stand for anything other than like, you know, XYZ used for like, you know, your unity, like, you know, position XYZ, you know, vector, like whatever. Does M have a... Tell me. Alright, I'm not seeing... I thought I remember seeing at some point somewhere at least a guess on what they stood for. But, oh well, it's fine. If it's not easily, like, me seeing it first on Google, then it don't matter. If they stand for anything, they're gonna stand for weird things, I think. So M, E, S is fine. Okay, so E. Okay, this is gonna be this. I gotta define what counts as... So I wanna go... Not, I don't know if clockwise is in the sort of positive direction that these are turning around. So I guess this will start at front, right, back, and left. And then the slice move is this is gonna be up, right, down, left. Yeah. Now, yeah, there is overlap between some of these and some of these, but I think that's okay. I can live with that. It's just going to be easier in code. When I'm talking about M moves, I'm using this and it says slice M, rather than when I'm talking about M moves, I'm using some mangled version of a thing that says right, left turn directions or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, for clarity, I guess. Okay, so what was I doing now? So for centers, I now just gotta, I can compare this list. Well, okay, now I'm gonna, these are used in a funky way. I'm about to use these in a funky way. Oh, actually, is this even the best way to, well, okay, I will need this to like cycle through the numbers to in the same way I do with this. Be like, find the direction that matches front, find that number, add 1, it's at 2, and then find the letter that's associated with that and go back into this list. So, you know, turn the 2 into, well, 1 in that case. But I also need, like, is there an easy way for me to basically be like, if center.has direction, has direction doesn't. This has direction thing is more applicable for the edge thing of say it's a helper function I wrote down or up here that's basically like, do either of the 2 directions match the one being passed in? For center it only has 1, so that's fine. I mean, I guess if I want to make it extra just samey, I guess I could just kind of make one here that's just has direction to test. I mean, it's just this feels not worth doing, but just to match the other ones. I could just test it directly, but oh well, it's fine. So if the center has the direction, but then I gotta pass in, instead of passing in one direction, one direction, the band, ha ha ha. Do I want to just call this 4 times? Passing in each of these? That feels like it should either be like a list or like a dictionary or something. There's potentially better data structures to use for this, but that later on, this is gonna be important for getting the pieces to update where they are, and I need like the associated numbers in this way, and the clarity, the clarity that comes with it being an enum and having the list of strings rather than just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. I mean, So, why is this being... Oh, also, this is using the edges thing. This should be using the... This is for the centers. This should be using... currently turning centers. And center, but transferred at set parent. Oh, wait. Oh, set parent to... If this passes the test, it should be added to core. Core is the thing that's going to be turning for this. Currently turn centers at that. Center.transferred at set parent blag. Just doing the parts that are easy while I then figure out what needs to happen instead. So it's this if statement and what might turn into a couple if statements that is the, you know, problem. And right now I can see multiple ways to go at this problem. Some seem, you know, easier, some seem more annoying. I guess, I have a weird idea. Over here in the edge turning code, I do this, where I take as example or a direction, or even that's just a string. Take the string that is, well, this, right? Take the string that says, you know, front, and I try to convert it. Right now, I try. If the code gets here, then I don't need this in like a try-catch thing, because like if the code gets here, this 100% is going to pass the test. It's gonna like not error from it convert it or whatever. It does this parsing to turn it into, you know, in this case, an up-down turn direction thing that matches these. Do I just... I guess the one-line thing I could do is do the parse. Isn't there a try parse that actually, like, yeah, it gives out a Boolean of it not working? I guess I could do a try parse, and if it passes, that means that it's one of them. If it fails, that means that it isn't one of them, and that would fail. That's weird and funky, but I guess it would work in a way that's not super messy and is a one-line thing, I guess. Okay, so if I'm to steal that code and bring it back here, let me just, you know, compile, collect together some of the relevant code that I'm going to need for this, and then stitch it all together in a way that makes sense. So instead of this up-down turn direction, it's going to use slice M turn directions is the thing. That's this. Okay, so, we want to take center.current direction, turn that into, not even old direction name, center direction name, I guess. So this is, if this is currently defined as direction.up, this is giving me the string that literally says up, right? Or the string that literally says front. So it's not an enum, there's no integer or whatever. I basically, I want to extract based on what it was, you know, the number in here in the enum. I want to get the physical string that it is. So front, up, down, left, right, whatever. Then I want to pass that into this guy. And instead of parse, that passes in. So enum type and value. I want to change this to try parse, which is going to take... that takes a lot more things. And I don't love that it does that. The value... Wow. Oh, it's like a... Okay, it's funkier, but it's like... I can make this work. So it takes in having the angled brackets around the type that's going in, I think. And that takes in the value. Does it have to take those other things, or are they like... Hold on. Oh, this also it spits out a Boolean, so technically not even just... at this point, this would be what's in the if statement. So just if blarg, just to have it stop erroring at me so I can see the attempt at autofilling code. Hold on, just enum, the try parse type of this, brackets like that, comma... No, but I've been okay. Hold on. Let me. This would it'd be easier on me if this is autofilling, trying to just like this. So the type that I want, t enum, is that different than so it was slice m turn directions. Maybe did I just have that? And then value is the center direction name. Nope. The wonders of autofilling code. So I don't need any of that. So then out result. So out. So I'm not going to be using this, but it's a mandatory thing that needs to be here, apparently. Out. I guess if I just define this, just temp just as a temporary thing, real quick. You going to be happy with that? That's all I need. What were these other values that I can pass in here, and do I care about them? Ignore case. I don't. Oh, that's all. That's all you get. Okay. So, in theory, actually, can't I just go like, if I have no plans on using this. Actually, and we'll see in a second. Would I use it? If I do, then we'll figure that out when we get there. This is kind of a, sort of a notation when you are having like a temp variable that you're not using. You don't even name it. You just give it an underscore or whatever. Actually, even this could be var. I don't like using var in C#. This is like you don't specify the data type and it figures it out. Don't love that. Actually, what happens? It doesn't know if... Ooh, it recognizes that the underscore is special, and I don't even need that. That's even better in that case. Fantastic. And then we'll see later on if I need it. But I have to, for this function, it's mandatory that I pass in a result thing that it would spit out, even if I don't use it. Anyway, so now this is actually just this. In theory, just to recap, we take the direction name that says the word front, and we are essentially looking at this list and saying, does the word front exist here? Which in this case it does. If we were looking for the word left does not exist in here. That will make this try parse fail, and you won't pass the if statement. If it passes the if statement, then it passed the test. It is one of the centerpieces that should be turning. And thus we add it to the list. This list that we use later on. And we parent it to the core so that when we turn the core, it'll turn the whole cube, right? Or not the whole, when we turn the core, it'll turn that piece that we care about. So currently, this should just affect centers. Well, then we have, the centers will stay parented. Actually, so this is gonna work for one turn, and then we'll do messy things on the next turn, I think. But just because I'm curious of what that's gonna look like, I just want to see it. Errors. Oh, I didn't save the code. Why did you add, you added, are you needed for something I did? For the try parse, possibly? I'm gonna go, just to not have to, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine, I can deal with that, anyway, whatever, okay. Compiled, wow. So in theory, for one turn, only the centers are gonna turn, so this should be funky, but here we go, yeah. It looks cool. It conceptually is cool, but it's, you know, not right. It ain't right. The correct centers are turning. Why is that? It's weird, but it's cool. If I try to pause it mid-thing, you can see more of what's going on. And because all here is black, where you can't even see, like, there's no lighting to really be able to differentiate any of what's going on here. Anyway, that looks cool. It's not, yeah, that is the thing, but yeah. So now, right. These centers are now staying under the core piece, which I said a second ago was going to cause problems. Is it actually gonna... Oh, God. Yes, it will. Oh, no. So, I don't actually... Oh, because it's turning around the pieces that are moved differently. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to turn on the auto scrambler. Oh, God. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's bad. That's not what's supposed to happen. I know why it's happening, because I purposely left some of that code not finished yet. I didn't think it would get this bad. Oh, but like, that's cool on its own. It's not sustainable. It ain't what we want. But sometimes broken code can look very cool. Gosh, alright, great, fantastic. So, to fix that problem, and we want to then deal with the edges, but to just fix just the corner, the centers being able to turn, I guess, on comment this code. So this is supposed to be after we do the turn. It's, you know, unparent the pieces that just did all that turning stuff. Well, then there's got to be the step of the centers updating where they are, but I think we'll hold off on that. Yeah, I want to get the edges to like do one successful turn first. So, okay, well, this is the part that deals with the edges. This is the part that dealt with the corners on normal turns. This is the part that needs to kind of go away and become, identical thing, but for centers. And I just feel like having centers first. So, center pieces, and then here, this is going to be center info. To basically exchange everything that says corners for stuff that says center. What was this? This is currently turning centers. Adjacent piece transform set parent. That should set parent to this game object, the Rubik's Cube manager. That's essentially pulling it out and putting it back where it was. Possible extra step of update. Oh well, that was a temporary like comment that ended up actually. Hold on, just real quick, just to fix a thing. Just extra step of, yeah, that works. Whatever. Just a thing that we thought was like, oh, it might be an extra step that might be necessary, ended up being a thing that we did definitely 100% end up doing. Let me just calling an extra step is weird, but oh well, it's fine. Potentially unnecessary, but whatever. It's fine. Okay, so now this is the bit that's gonna change. Is that then adjacent turning piece dot turn. The edge infos have this turn function that then passes information to say, hey, you just turned, here's how you turned, figure out where you are now because of that. We're gonna comment that out just for a second. For many seconds, actually, in fact. But just this part of setting the parent and then clearing the list when we're done with it to prepare for the next turn. Yeah. Oh, and because that list wasn't getting cleared, that was maybe contributing to some of the... Yeah, but, so if I turn this on now, these turns are going to be fine. Actually, in here, an M move should be in here, technically. Well, actually, well, it should have at some point, but oh well. Anyways, yeah, well, same thing, same deal. I'm actually... If I turn this all the way around to where it started, then the other moves should still work. If I turn you like this, are you going to work still? No. Right, because you're turning like that. Okay, I get why that is. Because this is still considered the up face. That's a thing that needs to change. Now, this one needs to be the up face or whatever. Which we'll get to. I would like to do just getting the edges to do that singular turn first. Just the order of operations I would prefer. Okay. So, in saying that, currently turning edges, blarg, edges, head direction, So this is actually going to be very similar to this, I think. I'm actually going to start, and instead of using this as kind of the base for this, we're going to use this, except, well, just so I can see both, because then see how to then replace. Center for edge. Edge info, edge. core, currently turning edges, edge, yeah, all that stuff. Hopefully I got everything there that I meant to. I don't like it having, okay, there we go, the like blue that it was doing there. That's fine. Okay, so, you're still called center direction name, like just, edge direction name, and then edge current direction. So even this isn't, technically this would be 0, because I know specifically that in edge is only 2 directions. Sometimes with lists you want to, sometimes with lists you'll like write a for loop and go through, you know, however many options there could be. Even if you had like a fixed amount, it was like 10 or something. There are specifically 2 always, so I'm fine to just hard code like that, just to have the 2 things. It's fine. You know, make this second or something, I don't know. So now in theory I call this and then and this, but with the second one. So in theory, both the first edge direction name and the second one, I pass them through this try-parse, and if they both succeed, they are a valid edge. It can't just be the case that one succeeds, otherwise we'll get these other edges that do technically match. We want to just get the ones that both match the direction that we're turning. And in theory, that should work. And then down here, I actually already had the bit that would unparent turning edges if they were in there. Yeah, okay. So, I guess we get to find out if this works now. So in theory, if I press M, all the edges should turn. Yeah. Hey, would you look at that? We're not done. This like, oh, it might prematurely look like it's working. Not quite yet, because right now they will do these turns, but then as you will see in a second, they will not do the any additional turns unless I put it all the way back up, and then it's gonna be proper and fine. Can I do or counter? Yeah. Counterclockwise, inverse moves, M moves. That's working, and then turning it double is technically green as well. That is cool. It's not, like, we're not done, but yeah, cool progress. That does happen to be just the way it coded it, happened to be working. I want to turn the auto thing again, let it just freak out a bit. It looks cool. Yeah. Somehow it's staying a little bit more together. Is it? Is the auto scrambler... The auto scrambler is supposed to be capable of picking M moves, or I thought it was now. Just to deviate and be sidetracked for a second, I just want to double check why. Because I didn't update this. Is there an easy way for... I was gonna say, like, some way that, like, this can be linked to how many cases there are in here, but I don't think there's any easy way to do that. Like, I have this being int that's, like, you know, number of total turns, but nah, it's fine. That's not a thing I should have to update that often. It's when I add, anytime I add, like, entire new moves that are possible. So now with this, it should freak out a lot more. There it goes. Okay. Obviously we don't want to freak out, but just, yeah, while it is. It's cool seeing when the black faces are on top of the, other colored faces. You can see them all clipping into each other in funky ways. Yeah. Woo. Alright, so, enough of that. Let's get it to not do that now, will be the next step. So, we have centers and edges. We know which ones are the correct one, which I'm glad that this ended up not being that bad to figure out. It wasn't some massive, monstrous thing. It did require this that might look a bit funky, but hey, if this leads to that, I can have this one line this. And the stuff we're about to write that's going to use it more is the reason why it couldn't have just been like a dictionary or something. Yeah, we're about to get to that in a second. And yeah, it's worth it, I guess. Okay, so now, basically, we find what pieces have to turn. We parent them and, you know, add them to this list and all that. We do the turning, and then we unparent the center pieces, unparent the edge pieces. Then this is after the turn is completed. Now we need to do the step of saying, hey, centerpiece, you just turned, figure out where you moved and adjust yourself accordingly. So, we have this kind of functionality working when edges do, and corners, do normal turns that look like this. even this is a bit, you know, it's a lot of copied code. Like it's, yeah, a lot that looks the same. I might at some point try to like, you know, combine some of that. In theory, that could maybe be done if some of this was written with, you can write functions that like abstractly take in a type. Actually, the tryparse function does that. So in theory, I could, you know, maybe do that in a way that would make this do stuff. Although even this part looks very similar. There are some cases where it adds, and some cases where the 90 subtracts. That's just how that is. Yeah. Anyway. Well, that's more if it's up, and then the opposite of it being down, so I could pass in some, like, multiplier, I guess. So, like, hypothetically, this could be cut down, and maybe that's something we do at some point. But, just looking into a singular... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Yep. Looking into a singular case that goes from here to here, except there's some stuff before, and then all the way at the bottom, then there's a few lines after. We're going to be copying some of this functionality, but differently, because we're turning on a slice. So, public, void, so, okay, like, edge info has, like, this function is called turn. In edge, we're going to pass in, well, okay, so that's the thing to figure out now, is, like, when we get to edge info stuff, am I going to be able to pass in the information or whatever from a slice move into this, or do I write a new thing that's for, a new function that's for a slice move? I think it'll be clearer here to write a new thing for a slice move. Possibly. So I'm gonna print, even though like the centers won't need a normal turn and a slice move thing in theory. I can just write in here. We're gonna be consistent with the naming that we're gonna eventually have in edge info. Just call it slice turn, and it's gonna take in some inputs that I don't know yet. Well, one thing's gonna be for sure the amount of turn that's to know if it's 90 or 180 or negative 90. But it's gonna need more stuff beyond that to know what kind of turn that it was. Okay, so, yes. So just with that written, I can in theory just at least call the function from here. It was slice turn. So now what are we passing in is the thing. For the normal type of turn, I was able to pass in turn, like put as input the center piece that just did the turning, what direction it's facing, to then, you know, that was information that I could use to know what way it turned in. Right now, I'm turning on this. Actually, in theory, I can just pass in, this. I can pass in axis to turn on, but knowing that it's calling the slice turn function through that, I know that that's different. Yeah, okay, that should work. Hold on, we're gonna pass it in you. Like that. And then, in theory, this, then it can have, like, the same, some similar tests that it had, yeah, okay. Cool. So, now, this, I am tempted as a starting move to literally just copy this and paste it in here and then cut everything down. We're gonna cut every case, even if I end up recopying it in later. It'll be easier to, like, cut this down to even just a singular case. We're gonna rewrite this and then copy it back into the, well, it'll eventually be 6 cases. Well, no, it won't. It'll be 3. So I was thinking, like, oh, like, one way and the other way might need to be 2 separate things, but no, it'll be, the same. Yeah, so it'll be 3 cases for the 3 types of M moves, but, yeah, anyway. So. Also, this has extra stuff because it's, you know, changing 2 things. Like this of it being, well, changing an actual, bit of an array, that doesn't need to happen. So this whole beginning bit, you know, need to be here. And this doesn't need to be an array. It'll just be current direction, and this will be just current direction as just a singular thing. Okay, so how does this need to change for M moves? Assuming, so for a slice like this, axis to turn on is gonna be vector 3.left, as we've said. So I'm just going to switch this as being case where it equals vector 3.left. Which, can I do that? A constant, what do you mean? It is a constant value. What do you mean? Oh, well, that's going to be axis to turn on being this. What is with these shorthands not, like, you'd think that they would be constants, but whatever. Can I go new vector 3, no. New vector 3. No. Stop trying to autofill with things that I don't want. 0, 0, 0. Just as a... You really don't like... Is there... Okay, that's... I mean, okay, that might be a thing that's going to make me have to turn this in from a fancy squish statement into just an if, else, if, as, if, whatever, which I don't love. But let me just do a quick Google if there's a easy way around this. Unity switch statement with vectors. I mean, I'm not really in this stage using these vectors as vectored. I'm using it as like basically like a glorified enum for which type of slice move this is referring to. Oh no. Oh no. Well, there's one option of, I could extract the 3 parts, the X, Y, and Z, and test them. I'm seeing something funky that looks like this, which I've never had to use the word when in C#. Make a vector when equals Y. So, like, okay, this looks like a hypothetical thing that I could use, but I hate it. I'd rather... I mean, like, it works as a one-line thing, and I can read it and I kind of understand, like, case this, when is vector 3.left, I guess. But I don't want to use this way. Let me double check. I don't actually use this elsewhere other than just in the switch statement, right? It's just... and even here, actually, here's the direction. It's not even a... it is just straight up an enum to know which way. I will probably be... Well, okay, I'd probably be better off just making a new enum that's just like slice direction. It would probably be simpler. The annoying thing is that I don't have, like, slice direction, which is gonna be MES. I don't love that I don't have actual, like, full fancy names for this, but slice direction.m, that being the wording of that, I guess will be fine. So instead of this taking in axis to turn on, have it take slice direction, I guess. Then you can switch statement that, and then you can be fancier, and I guess at this point it looks nicer. Slice direction.m, and then do stuff. Now the weird thing is then I gotta pass that in here, which I gotta then... Well, that means I have to test it anyway. No, surely not. I refuse. So up at this point, I pass this in. Hold on. I can make this work. Oh, well, I can mirror this. Direction of center looking for... It's a funky name. I'll put here direction of slice. I don't need the of necessarily, but I'll keep the wording of whatever. This is gonna be slice direction equals slice direction.m, which isn't gonna be used in all of these turns, but whatever. I guess it's fine. So then this is gonna use next move type equals just it being a slice move, and then this direction of slice equals that dot m. Don't like love that, but I guess this makes things clearer later on. Okay, so that, well, even this is gonna pass. Instead of center to turn. Wait, this is a center info. Oh, that's used in this bit. Yeah. Okay. Fine, we'll do it like this, and then that's gonna pass in over here. Slice direction. Yeah, something along those lines, and then this can pass that in here, and whoop-de-doo, everything is fine now. All that just so that this can say, okay, slice direction.m instead of a whatever the other thing was that had a when in the middle of it. Case vector 3 v when v dot equals bracket vector 3 dot left. Like, hypothetically, even that, like, I'm not using it as an actual, I'm using, like, I just wanted to test it, like, yeah, this is cleaner and easier to read later on, so, yeah. It's fine. Okay, so in here, now this is gonna change to was it slice M turn directions? That's the starting thing. So this is now gonna be similar, just using this as the enum of choice. No way the rest is unchanged, right? So we have a center. So just to run through this, if we have the up face and it just did an M move, it now just become front. Does that happen conceptually? When we're going clockwise, we're just gonna go in here. So we're gonna pass in slice direction M. So old direction is up. Get the string that literally says the word up. And then we go in here, and then we parse it like this. So up, we convert it to da-da-da-da-da. In here, there is the word up. There it is, a 0. Wow. And then over down here. Yeah, it becomes slice M turn directions dot up. Then, it being an enum, we can add to it like an int, which is, you know, cool. Good that we could do that. Because it's 90, it goes up, so that turns the 0 into a 1. And then we take that, and we, if it went above 3, 4, like, then it loops back around. So if it was, you know, here, it would loop back around. That's, you know, thing that we want to have happen. And I have, wait. Or no, yeah, this one back loops around to up. Yep, okay. So now this is a 2. Or no, it's a 1. It was a 0, it went up to a 1. And then take that, convert it back into, oh no, slice, or, yeah, that thing there. Convert it back, get the string name of it, just here, yeah. Get the string name, that should be the word front. Convert that one into the word front. 1 is here, becomes front. And then down here, convert that word front back into a direction type, so then it will be direction.front. And then put that in. Sounds good to me. That sounds like it makes sense. So in theory, did all that save? Possibly. So this isn't going to work on the edges just yet, but just looking at the corner. If I look at this one, the white one, you can see up here it says up. We go into play mode. And I press M. It should do the turn, and we should see this become the word front. Please work. Yeah! Woo! And if I press it again, it should become down and back and up. And if I go the other ways, back, down, front, up. And the double turns, which, like, if most the other turns are working, like the double turns, you know, should be. Cool. Oh, I just realized if I hold Control and Shift, the code happens prioritize, just making it a backwards turn like that. Okay, sure. Cool. Fancy. All right, yes, awesome, that's working. Working kind of. I turn this now, it's still not gonna, for the potentially the last time, we get to observe the funky turning. Then it should be, you know, fixed. In theory. Cool, all right, awesome. That is working nicely. Bit my tongue very slightly there. Ouch, but I'm fine. Okay, good, coolsies. Yeah. Next. This was just for the centers. Now we basically got to get this similar behavior on edges, which won't actually be that different, I think. It will be great. It will be grand. So public void. Actually, just literally just start with it. I did copy the declaration of the function. So this bit is gonna have to now get back this beginning bit of up here where I have to individually. Well, I'm gonna have to change it in a second, but just to start with this, blah blah blah. You take things. It's fine. Okay, blam, and then wait. You there and you there as a temporary thing. No. There. And then instead of axis of turn, if wait. Axis of how is that able to do that here? Hold on, let me remind me what I did. This was a was a direction, and then it has passed into that, right? Oh, no, well, okay, no. This test before was like, hey, when we turn, you know, this on the front face, we only actually need to change one of these. We only need the one that was front stays being front. The one that was not front is the one that's actually changing. That was a test for that. In this case, when we do an M move, both of these are changing. Now, technically, I said this before. I'll refresh real quick. Is that if this piece here is up and front. When we turn it like this, technically there is still a piece that is front. But before it was the green that was facing front, and now it's the white that's facing front. So technically there's a part that is still facing the same direction. But the way that I have the internals of a cube piece deciding, knowing where it is, we're going to have both of them change. Because the green part changed what way it was facing, and the white part changed what way it's facing individually. And that counts, that I want to change both. That's part of the internal code that's going to have to do with a piece knowing that its orientation is right, even if it's in the right spot. Okay, so with that being said... yawning. Okay. So what needs to change here? So first of all, I don't need to calculate a changing direction index. It might just be the case that I actually basically what I want to do. Did I do this on corners? Hold on, let me remind myself of a thing that I may have done. I did this where I did calculations and then essentially applied a thing with passing in two things. We're basically going to do that, so I will keep my kind of naming convention here, I guess. Except with the word slice, because it be a slice. Apply directions, change, slice, or something. And then what gets passed in might be different. But basically, instead of doing this... we are gonna go apply direction change slice with input of actually wait, hold on, the direction, wait, I'll direct passing in current direction 0 and no, current direction 0 and slice direction and amount to turn. Now this bit's gonna change because this is a slice direction. Other than that, it'd be the same. It's gonna have to return a thing, which is gonna do. It's gonna get there. We're gonna basically apply, do this with 0 and do this with 1, and that's all this bit's gonna need to do, in theory. Yeah, so then all of this gets to just be pasted in here, being input E stuff. This whole direction is this, so this don't need to be a that. This line doesn't need to exist because it's just happening in passing that into that function. You know, coolsies. Blah, 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 blah. Slice direction is the name of this now. It's differentified. Instead of applying the thing down here... Oh, wait. This returns a direction. Okay, this needs to do this. Get that output and do stuff with it. Technically, if I wanted to, you can have fancy functions that like have a variable that's like out whatever, that you can change this and then that's what gets spit out here. But I like to keep things simple rather than overcomplicating things. And whether you see that as being simpler or more complicated, up to you, I guess. Anyway, this new direction, return new direction. Now that's what gets outputted, and we don't need any of that. Technically, I could return this line here, but this just keeps it simpler. Okay, so so with all that, the rest of this should stay the same. Is that right? I think so. Yeah, because it's still gonna go the same. Because it's nice that in this case, the way that I'm doing this, I can treat the two parts separately. They don't depend on each other. If I wanted to, I might be able to do something where, you know, this one moved down here, make this one what this one used to be, but calculating that is a lot funkier, especially when I don't know which way it turned and knowing which one would be the one to apply to the other one. This is just simpler, I guess. Yeah, okay. So with that, oh, I've got to call the function. Didn't do that step. Hold on. This slice turn's got to be called by over here. In this code, we can uncomment it. So this, instead of turn, is going to be slice turn, and then inputs passing in is going to be this slice direction, and amount to turn, and that's it. It'd be the same as what it was for the center. Is that going to work? If this works, other than some potential cleanup, we don't got to do anything with the corners. Like, that's already dealt with. this might mean that slice moves, the first of 3 types of slice moves might be working. But once you have one working, then the others shouldn't be too far behind. Let's see. Yeah. Looking good. And well, we knew that this was working good. I should actually look at an edge and, see that it's actually, updating as it should. So this one, white, red, let's do the white, green one. It's our standard one that we look at. This one. This one, it currently is up front, which with all the turning around it did, it went back to being the starting thing, which is good. If I press M, up front should become front down, should be the order. Yeah, look at that. I don't know if it's too tiny to see, but it's right there in that corner. It says front down, now it says down back, now it says back up, and now it says up front. And the order of those things matter, and it was the correct order that should have been. Going backwards is correct. Back and up. Essentially, for this piece specifically, where the white is, that'll be the first entry. Where the green is, that'll be the second entry. So the white is facing back, and the green part is facing up. That's good. Fantastic. And then I'll turn on the auto thing. Once it does some end moves, it looks like yeah, the pieces are turning as they should. Even the pieces that didn't start in the slice are going to the slice and then turning with that. It's very cool. I guess I'm not, well, almost want to like prioritize doing M moves so I can see them more often, but right now each move is equally likely. Well, it picks a direction, and then it's a separate like 1 and 3 of whether it's going to be clockwise, a 180 or counterclockwise, but still. Yeah, looking cool, Z's. Very, very cool. And with that, I'll finally update my random counter of the stream. Slice moves working goes from 0 to 1. Booyah. Well, okay, well, I gotta decide my definition of this. Do I count, technically, M is working, but M prime, or M inverse, however you want to call it, is working, and M2 is working. Do I count those as being separate things? Just be able to inflate the counter even more. I will count those as separate things. I didn't think I'd be getting all 3 of those working at the same time, but, just how it happened to go. But, technically, 3 of the, well, if you say that, E, or M, E, S are different slice moves, we have 1 of 3 working. In theory, now that 1 is done, and we have some of the framework in there for the rest, the other ones shouldn't be that far behind getting them working. But, if you count, M, M prime, M2, E, E prime, E2, and S, S prime, S2, then that's 9. Wow, multiplication. We have 3 of 9 working, otherwise known as 1 and 3. So, this is all turning. Also, good. Let it run for a bit. It seems to still be all good and fine and not broken. That's a good sign. We can see over here the pieces actually, like, being randomly, like, parented to stuff and then unparented. It's all being shuffled around. The, like, order of this top-down does not matter, so it's fine. They get all kerfuffled and messed up. The core piece happens to be there. If I turn this randomly, the next time a centerpiece happens, it's going to do funky things. No, it didn't, actually. Huh. Interesting to know. But I can, like, I don't know if I, well, go position-wise and try to, grab you and do this, then you're going to do crazy, funky things like that. Yeah, still cool. Still very neato. Alright, well, with that, cool. I'm glad that wasn't as, it took a bit. It's been 2 hours, but we didn't really start programming until, like, 40 minutes in. It didn't take as long as I thought it would, and that's good. It wasn't as, I was worried that this would be extremely complicated and I might not be able to figure it out, whatever. I'm glad that we were able to, and part of that is based off of how we initially planned the stuff with turning edges in the first place. That helped. Yeah, so, that's good. Oh, this was the temporary thing that turns the inside faces black, so I didn't have to do that manually. Yeah, alright, so with that, oh, and then also, I didn't check, but, like, corners successfully didn't update. They didn't do anything. It was just an M move, and that's correct behavior. I guess now we do the extra steps of trying to get the other directions in here, which frankly shouldn't be that bad. And we'll see if I eat my words in a second. I guess going one thing at a time, we got M moves working. Now we will be getting E moves working, which an E move is like this, an emu. And the direction matters in this. So it's specifically E is this way, E prime is this way. So that's a thing. So let's get that working, shall we? So first thing is just be able to make both the auto thing and my manual buttons be able to type it in the first place. We're just going to add it there as 7, and I will remember now to have this be a thing. If I wanted to, like, give some pieces, like, higher priority, like, more likely to happen, I could mess around with that, but I don't need to. Or even, like, here, if I wanted, like, double U-turns to be, like, not as likely or something. But I don't need to do that for this. It's fine. Don't need to go that complicated with it. Okay, so in here, we changed adding to my list of buttons I can press to do stuff. E being from pressing the E key or going down the numbers. Alpha. Or just 8, right? Just alpha 8. Yep. Cool. That's working. Once I run out of the top, we'll figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of that. But oh well. Is fine. Okay. So down here. Yeah. This basically. So first thing is that this has got to change from being M to E. This thing that says that it's a slice move, that stays the same. This thing that says it's an E move, that's that. Axis to turn on, if, you know, for M move, it was like, I look at it from the left, and that's sort of turning the middle face clockwise. In order to turn this like this is like, it's looking from the down face to turn it clockwise, if that makes any kind of sense. So this should say down to work with the logic that we have in place, right? Okay, so then down here, blah, blah, blah. This bit should stay the same. This should go into here the same. A lot of this is going to be very samey, which is good. So, where is, oh, okay, so, right. So this is the part that's got to change. Instead of saying E, has to say M. Is there an easy way for me to do that? I mean, I can just go, well, I guess I can switch statement. Switch, slice turn direction, and then, well, I don't, yeah, okay, I'll do it this way for now. There might be a better way, but, oh well, slice, dot M. The fact that it's like, okay, hold on, this, and then break, because it's doing this with, like, a type rather than, like, some variable or whatever, and I'm using like a different type of enum depending on this. Like, I think that there are ways that you can simplify it with generic functions that can, like, you could pass in different types or whatever, but it's fine. In this case, it's only 3, so it's not the worst. So do this, and this is gonna be slice E turn directions, and that part is the same. It does mean that I gotta then do it here as well, which, yeah, is fine. Okay, this, blarg, and then this being passed into here and here. Get rid of that, and then this one has to change to slice E, and this one too. Yeah, okay, cool, blam, blam, blam. And then same thing one more time. Actually, wait. Well, not here, but inside of this slice turn function that's gonna have to do that. Yeah, okay. So now in here, now we got this thing. Okay. So, just this has got to become additional case that has E, which would have had to do that anyway for, well, actually, no, just for that. Slice. Slice, E, turn directions instead. Just pass that into everywhere around here. This one and this one and this one. Don't miss any and don't put any into the wrong spots. Errors because, oh, you hate, right, this annoying thing that, how do I deal with this in Edge Info? I just have to, oh, I just gave it individual different names. I mean, I guess. Oh, I called this up. That doesn't even make sense here. Technically, well, rename you to just 13 references. Rename you to M, I'll get half of these, and then I'll just manually correct these. E into here, 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 and here, and here, and here. Blam, and then kablam. Is that good? Are you trying to miss anything? Possibly, probably. That's on the centers, though. Now we do the same thing on the edges, which while I'm here... Not there, not there, not there. That would be the wrong spot. Down here, change this one to be the M1. And then this become new case with E. And then E there. E, E, E. Whoa, whoa, whoa. E and E. And E there, E there. Alright, hopefully I didn't miss anything. Actually, let me just have a quick peek over here that I didn't miss any of them here. Being paranoid. I really should make this into, like... There's so many, and there's gonna be so many more, and this is very samey, just with the different enum. Maybe I do try actually splitting this into... Making a generic function that takes a type as input. I don't think that'll be actually that hard. In this case, that actually, yeah, probably not. Might not be as bad as I'm thinking it might be. Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't even... wait, sorry, was I done that? Was that all good? It might be. Alright, I guess we find out if this works. If it this quick, that'd be great. Alright, E. It should turn this way. So orange will be here, and the red will go around the back. Please work. Yeah. Alright. That's looking pretty good. And then counter... E, yep. And then while it's turned around, I can do other turns and it doesn't freak out. Turn on the auto turny thing. Would you look at that? Yes! That's what I call, E move, I guess. E and M are working together as well. They don't seem to be, like, breaking each other, which I didn't think that they would, but good that that's not being super unexpected. Alright, yeah, see, once we had one working, the rest are working fine. And with that, I'm just letting it run a little longer, make sure nothing extra funky happens, but it seems that everything's all turning as it should. And I have reasonable confidence that the directions in here are updating correctly. If they weren't, then I'd be seeing it. I'd be seeing things go wildly off into space or whatever. Or you know, pieces going on top of each other or what have you. But you know, if I look at the other side, there's nothing funky going on around here. No funny business. All right. Woo! Fantastic. And technically, kind of, sort of, I didn't mention this before, but technically I do have the capability now, sort of doing, oops, if I can press the right buttons, of doing full cube rotations, sort of, which is, so like that, and then it'd be, R needs to go the other way, and then L needs to go clockwise, yeah. I mean, it's, you know, funky, obviously, but technically I can do that. Which does make me wonder if I want to try to make it so that if I do a full turn, to just run sequentially those 3 types of turns. I almost want to, just for like the challenge, rather than cheating it by just turning one move into 3, like actually internally properly handling as if all of it's turning at once, but we'll see. Okay, technically I guess I'm gonna update my counter. That is, E is working, E prime is working, and E2 is working, which, okay, maybe in hindsight it would have been better having it just, I mean, I could have counted them as, you know, one thing, multiple, whatever, it's fine. The number gets to be higher if I count them individually. So that's working. I could move on to S now, but just to change things up a bit, and I think something that might be better doing now rather than it'll be more of a pain to do it later. I want to try, and I bet when I try this, it's not going to be as much of a pain as I think it's going to be. All of these functions that are exactly the same, with the one difference being the enum that's used is different. I want to extract this into a generic function that takes in a type, an enum type. You know, make it, you know, so I can have a function that I can then just call and like pass in the type of enum and have it be a lot more simplified. There is the one case that for these normal turns, it uses, like, this is positive and negative, and this is negative and positive, so, like, that will take maybe, like, an extra, like, a multiplier or something, but, like, this is definitely doable. This is the thing that might just be clunkier. I just gotta figure out the proper notation of it. I think we actually start with, what'll be easier is, this only has, well, the number part's the same. The only difference is just the enum, and there's only 2 of them, so this will potentially be easier to extract. And this is with the center. I don't gotta deal with it being double things. Okay, so and while I'm at it, I don't know if anything up here. Well, I guess up here and down here, if that's already the same, that doesn't need to change. But And technically, this part and this part are the same in that they could technically be outside of the switch statement, except for these are dependent on, I mean, there's the stuff that's special before and after, just because this there to there is the same. The before and the after are different, so, yeah. Anyways, well, they're about to be combined to a function anyway, so either way, like, this won't be copied code in a minute. So if I write a function down here, what am I calling it? What's your generic name gonna be? Something like, something like convert direction or something like that. And actually, you're not going to be void, you're going to return. You are going to take as input a direction as a string, and then you're going to do this stuff, and you're going to give me some output that's as a string. Interesting. Okay, so you're going to return a string. I mean, I could go the extra mile and have it do the turning, like, it inputs a direction, it spits out a direction, maybe. I'll see. If I do want to do that, then, yeah, we'll see. Convert direction. And actually, I might be able to write this as one generic helper function that's on some other thing that then everything. If all of these, the corner, edge, and corner, or center, edge, and corner can actually just call this one function, that'd actually be a big amount of saving time. Okay, so convert direction. So when you want to have like a type, you use the angled brackets, I believe, and then it's like, is it? I don't know. Oh no, you just put T, right? And then I take in the input. It's something like, I'm gonna try to write this without looking it up, but imagine in a couple moments I will mandatorily have to look it up. Old direction, and then something like, take the discode as a base for this, where then instead of the enum, I'd pass in T, maybe? Oh, but then you might not recognize you. Ooh, I do need to, like, I think I need something that says that it's definitely an enum, like this is definitely a thing that's gonna work, I think, to be able to add to it like this. Unless I have an extra line that after this then, like, converts it to an int, just to make sure that it knows. We'll come back to that in a second. Just to also, while I'm doing this, to test how it would actually be called, that part of it. It's unhappy there. I'll fix it in a second. Oh yeah, this also is going to use variables up here. Oh yeah, it's going to need all the other stuff, right? It's going to need old direction. It's going to need does it need the slice direction? The slice direction is just to know stuff in here, right? It doesn't use slice direction here. No. You need old direction name, I guess, is the thing that is this, and then amount to turn. Or hold on, let me just copy it from here. Blarg and which even the amount to turn, I don't know if that's like a thing I should at some point turn into an enum or something as well, because at this point it is just used to be like clockwise, double, and counterclockwise. Like I could just have it be in fact, technically, if I really wanted to, I could make this one line that's just like current direction in rotation plus equals amount to turn divided by 90. And, you know, if it's 90, it'll be 1. If it's 180, it'll be 2. And negative, I'll be negative 1 if I just divide it by 90. But I don't want to do all those divisions, and this is just clearer to look at. So, yeah. That's a case where even if it would be less lines of code, well, even this is just better on performance, but it's also more readable. So, yeah, worth it. Okay, oh, this is an extra bracket. Yeah. So, oh, here I have to, oh, I didn't actually return anything. So, well, this is going to make string blarg, and then this is going to return that. So that deals with that bit. So now the part that it doesn't like is this. I convert to a float? I really did. Oh, yeah, or there for the repeating thing. Okay. So everything's fine except this plus plus cannot be applied to type T because it doesn't know what it is. So now I need the extra step of if I can somehow, like, have it know that it's an enum. Where I saw a thing that started to fill in that was like, where T, I don't know, where T equals enum? I don't know. Okay, this is definitely the part where I'm going to, like, look stuff up, and I'm hoping this is going to be something simple-ish. Even if, well, the other part I didn't want to use, like, early in the stream, there was, like, the complicated line. There's, like, you know, vector, blah, 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 where, blah, or when, you know, vector equals, or dot equals, like, vector throughout up or whatever, and I didn't want to use that because it was maybe a bit messy. This will be potentially an exception to that. Where that, I was able to, like, clean it up in a way that was just less messy to just look at. Just be different. Okay, so Unity, T function, I don't know, enum, something like that. Even if I might need, like, if I can't figure out an easy way to specifically say, oh no, I don't need to know how enums, what enums are. I know what enums are. How would I word, lineage generic type to enum? Yeah, can I do that? Okay. Generic type is what this thing be called. T to enum, where, is it, wait, what, okay, hold on. T, and then at the end here, I go where T colon struct, or is that enough? Hold on. No. System.I convertible? Or you perhaps need other things to... can't... Well, but like, why not? What if I specifically go enum? And enum is kind of a struct, cannot be used as a constraint. Oh, it has an extra thing. How about now? Okay, do you need this bit now from that? If I can't, I think potentially, it doesn't like doing the plus plus on the generic thing, but if afterwards I then make it an int. Also, I would, in this generic function, I'd get rid of the E parts of it. Actually, hold on, let me just, even if you're erroring, will you still let me rename you? Yeah, good, fantastic. Wasn't sure if it would. Int, current direction, number, I don't know, equals... If I explicitly just convert it to this, then will you be happy with that? Oh. Can't... So, okay, well, that's not even just... You sure? Are you sure you can't, Do I have to, like, go, like, more specific int dot... Whoa, not that. Int dot parse or something to, like, more betterly do it? Oh no, int.parse takes in an int and converts it to a string. That's different. Okay. How can I do this? How can I potentially get around this? Oh, wait. Sorry, do I put back in this after... With that? No. Show potential fixes. Give me an actual fix. Fix formatting. It just needs formatting? What? Not that... Oh, I was hoping you're gonna give me an actual bit of help. Surely there's a way to do this. Surely. At this point, even the more generic thing of, Unity generic, type to int, even if I have to put it in like a try whatever, I can see how to test is it a whatever, but not how to convert it to such things. Surely somehow I can do this. Also, you don't need that bit. Are there other, like, things that can trail at the end of this? I don't know what they would be. Okay, I was hoping that I'd be able to just Google and just find... I mean, it's hard to, like, well, define exactly what I'm, Oh, wait, do you take in, like, a... Oh, wait. Do you take in, like, a T... I see a thing that's, like, T value. Or is that a separate T thing? Well, no, but then you're saying like no, that wouldn't do that. I need the type because I'm making a variable of that thing. Come on, surely there's a way somewhere somehow. Surely, how? I just need to convert. Oh, okay. I see a potential thing that's more manual, but if it works, then it works. There's, oops, no, hold on. Okay. Convert dot change type. Really, with that manual of a thing, I can go and then like type of int, perhaps. No, you still don't like it. An explicit, yes. Help me here. Oh, well, that. Oh, hey. Oh, and then you're. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, that is now an int. This I can add to and roll it around. And I know that all of these are 4. That's fine being a hard-coded number. Oh, not that part. Wait, what was... Oh, well then this wouldn't have the T part of it. And this is already an int, doesn't need a float part, I think. What? Oh, you're there. Oh, spit out a float back into an int. Gotcha, okay. And then in here, type of whatever, so it being an int can go back around that way. Okay, I guess that works. Like, it's a little bit funkier, but I was hoping for, I don't know, better one-line kind of thing. Oh, I see there's like a, oh no, or, okay. Yeah, if it works, it works. I was hoping there's, yeah, a fancier or a cleaner solution. Do I even need this stuff now? But this thing, no, I guess, but I'm gonna keep it anyway because it is always going to be an enum. So I don't know, sure. Okay, so now in use, this would then be up here. Type slice m turn directions, and then input being old direction name that is specifically the variable I made called old direction name, and it's gonna pass in amount to turn and all that stuff. And then as output, it's gonna get new direction name equals blarg. Yeah? And then you're not gonna be used for any of that. So now in theory, all of this can go away, and it just becomes this. That's cleaner to look at. And then to show how much more this is gonna go down, then that should be able to come this, where then this just turns into an E. Fancy. That's, you know, way cleaner. And it's gonna be like even more, you know, savings when we then make, you know, the or the S version here. Well, I'm gonna this, because, you know, this bit be positive, this part be negative. I will potentially need to add in a like a multiplier of some kind for it to actually use that. But just a test before I change everything else and find that like it doesn't work or something. Let me just make sure that this is still working as it was, which it is. Great. Turn on the auto thing. Let it. Oh no, it's not. What the heck? Whoa, no. That's not good. Okay. You know, that's not good. Oh, this isn't used here. Oh, but that was using the original thing. Oh boy. Okay. I love. Happy it was just a quick little fix and not something super complicated. I'm just gonna immediately turn on the auto thing, please. Okay, now it's looking better. Let it run just a little bit longer. At this point, if it's done like one of every move, then it's probably fine. Have I seen it do an E move yet? There we go. Right on cue. Good. Fantastic. Okay, that seems more like it's working. Good. Okay, cool. I was worried there for a second that this was gonna be a hard one to track down or something. This doesn't. At this point, I don't think I need the start functions of these. Just, you know, clean that up. And if I find that I do later, then oh well. Okay. So, well, now I gotta decide. I mean, okay. Well, so this works here as it currently is. Is there a quick, easy way I can, like, because in theory, I can make this same function underneath the edge info and the corner info, but it's gonna be the same once I add the multiplier thing in. But then I can have a default be that it is the adding version. I guess I make this a public static function. And it should be under, I guess, Rubik's Cube Manager. Do I make like a helper function thing? I don't know, but Rubik's Cube Manager can be under here, I guess. Or maybe I should make a new script as like a helper function thing. I'll do that if I find me making another common one. I guess, but just one singular thing like that should be fine. Well, okay, I don't love then that this has to go back Rubik Cube Manager dot that, but makes that slightly longer, but you know what? No, I will do it now. Either do it now or I probably will do it later. This you don't like having that. Well, yeah, okay, hold on. I'll fix that in a second. Let me just make new script. It's gonna be like and you know, this then could also actually store all the helper or all the direction enums that are currently just randomly in the center info as well. So I guess this is, yeah, these more justified existing. Utilities? Utilities. I guess I'll call it that. That's the more fancy name. I spell it right. Utilities. Okay. Something along those lines. I'm gonna wait for this a few seconds to open up. And then once we're done this, then we'll combine all the. What are you doing over? Yep, okay, sure, fine. You're doing all that. We're gonna clean up how all this other stuff is being used. Even actually, all this now can go in here. I'm still gonna go at the top, but just being in this script makes more sense for it. Okay. So now you can then take that and put it here. Not there. Wrong one. Utilities and have you be. You shouldn't need any of those. Public static blarg. This being shorter is good. That those things. Then here it added the system reference that it shouldn't need, I think. Yeah. Okay. Then with that, this should now just say utilities, and that's just better, I think. Okay. Cool. You know, while I'm at it, because then once this is done, we should be able to get S moves working pretty easily. I'm just gonna, while I'm here, should be able to then just copy it and put it in S. Don't gotta change anything else. Fantastic. Except, actually, before I go any further, I want to make this compatible with this being able to be negative. So this should just have a third optional. I guess we'll make it a bool. Invert direction, I guess, equals. Oops, direction equals false. By having the equals false thing here, then I don't have to put it, so I can just call it with just these two, and it'll assume being true. Wait. Well, actually. So, if I make this a Boolean, then I gotta do a if statement test thing here. If I make this an int, that can either be 1 or -1. Then plus equals 1 times invert direction. Then I can just pass in 1 or -1. I don't have to clutter this with a bunch of if statements. Minus equals 1 times that, I guess. And then the two can't be inverted. Yeah, the 2 can't be inverted, so that's fine. This is fine. No, wait. Well, okay. Technically, I can have this do -2, but that it'll because it's 4. It'll be the same thing, right? Yeah. Just in case I change rules later on or anything weird that could happen, I guess I will future-proof this real quick. But that shouldn't change anything. But whatever. So technically this could be plus equals -1 times whatever, but that's fine. Plus equals that, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm fine thinking of this as a double negative, it being the -90 counterclockwise case. So invert direction, that's just, yeah. Okay, so this should be untouched. I don't need to put in that -1. Just to copy this to then over here. Actually, before I go any further, now that I've done this, is there any amount of this stuff that should change? Possibly, right? Maybe I change this a little bit further in that, I have, current direction equals old direction, and then at this point I pass in old direction. So it takes as input a direction and spits out a direction. No, that doesn't work. Never mind, because... Wait. No, yes it does. I was about to say because this has the slice moves. That's only used here. It's not used inside of it, so that should be fine. Yeah, okay. So let's make that one quick change. To have... Take that. Go in here. Have this instead... okay, blarg. Actually, let me just copy the... comment as well, just because. So take this. String old direction name equals blah based on old direction, which is a direction. Old direction, blarg into this. This goes into that. Then all is good. We're going to change this to returning a direction. It even makes more sense with the name. It converts a direction to the next thing it should be. This technically than just the words old direction. Instead of this going into this, new direction equals blah. I'm going to copy this first, rip that out. Actually, we're going to copy it because I'm going to keep that bit there. Over to here. This thing, and then down here, instead of returning that, go new direction equals blarg based on this, and then return the new direction here. That is a direction type. Back over here, that means that this, I'm then going to want to, up here, I don't need this. Define an empty new direction thing equals direction dot up. It needs some value of some kind. Like this should never be used, but it just errors if it doesn't have a default. So then this is going to, or old direction equals this equals this equals this, and then this can. Oh, now this line can die, but I just need to move it up there, and then this is nicer. This is simpler. Technically, okay, if I want to go one step further, I don't even really need this. This was just for, like, clarification, but current direction. I don't think I need the clarity of that saying old direction. Yeah, so it's even shorter. Woo! Even whether apply the direction change is, well, actually, now even this is less, like, I can just put current direction in there if I really wanted to. Is this simplifying things too much? I mean, now look how nice this is. Look how simplistic this is. But then you go in here, and in here is where all the getting more complicated is. But it's not. It's still kind of the same thing we had before, just different. Yeah, this looks nice. You pass in a direction, and depending on the thing, it's like, oh, convert direction based on. Convert direction equals current direction. Like, if I really wanted to, I could have it be like old direction, new direction. I just don't think it's necessary here. I mean, this is like the same as if you used like mathf.repeat. Actually, we use that in here, right? Like it's the same. I put in this, it does stuff, and then it spits it out into the here. I think that's fine. I'll understand that. It's not too confusing, I don't think. So now we have that. Now I've got to convert this mess. See how messy and complicated this looks? Now we get to convert that into basically a one-line thing. And then trim off stuff at the top and bottom, I think. So that's cool. So this is the kind of thing where if I did this earlier, I'd have less to replace now. Oh well. This will take as input. For the edges, it's slightly different where it only uses... You know, the one that gets passed into old direction is... actually, maybe I do then. This will keep... old direction, because I go through the work of specifically defining it. Like I have to extract it here just to have this longer thing here. That will pass that into there, and that should be fine. What's your issue now? Hold on. Current direction can't be that. Do I define a new direction? Well, we're gonna. This is, I guess, yeah, another case. So this is more justified having the extra pieces, I think. So you shouldn't need this, and you shouldn't need that. Those can go away. Old direction passed in there, new direction here. And you know what? I just said that I would remove these, but because I did it there, I like the idea of consistency. So this doesn't clutter things up that much to do this, I think. Except, and you know, hypothetically, I'm making the assumption I'll be able to understand this when I come back to it. But, now, I would like if I could do this. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That needed that. I would like if I could do this. Can I actually value? Oh, no, yeah, see there, it's like, oh, it's an unassigned variable. It's just, I don't know, I don't like this one. It's a thing that's not going to be used. And, like, it's always going to... Well, actually, let me double check something. If I do this and then do, you have, default break. Well, if in here... Well, then in here, if I set it to... okay, this is just the same thing, but you still don't like it. But just, I want to test. So then hypothetically, then that can be empty, but it doesn't need to be. But then here, what happens if I here just do return? Will you will it be smart enough to recognize that it doesn't get down here without it being assigned? Oh, it does. I guess that's nicer. And I don't have the random up that seems arbitrary. So, you know, I guess we'll do that. Don't usually like having the default things if I'm not actually using them, but in that case, I guess I will, because I guess it, you know, good to have, I guess. Okay, so now making the same changes here, which is gonna be messy. I gotta make sure I convert everything correctly. If I mess stuff up here, it's gonna be a pain to track down. So let's, you know, do this correctly. So, does this new direction? So this line can go away, right? Or this is the thing that changes. New direction equal. Or just define it. Get rid of that. We'll make the default case in a second, but we'll get there. So new direction up. New direction, pass in, blah, 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 old direction. In theory, all of this can go bye-bye. Right. Actually, all the way to here. All of this can go, and it's just the one line. To compare that to this, it is just the one line in that. Yep, that looks good to me. Now, it should be a matter of, I get to just do the same thing here. All of this goes away, except this is where the first bit of it being negative applies. So here, then I'm going to pass in a -1 for that, inverted thing. Okay, and then and this uses the same up, down, turn direction thingy. Then this is going to be front, back turn directions. This is positive, so it does not get the -1. All of this goes away. And then back, same deal. It does get the -1. It flip-flops. And then all that goes... no, deleted too much. All this goes away. It's, yeah, a little bit, you know, repetitiveness here, but it is mandatory. Oh, whoops, I didn't put the comma there, so that was wrong. Except this one's going to go away again. Actually, for right, yep, it's positive. Cool. Wait, this is right, so now this is the right, left turn directions, gets in all that, and then this goes away. And then this... and put back in the -1, and all of this gets to disappear, vanish before your very eyes. And then real quick, I'm just gonna add in the default return thing so that later code does not error at me. This ain't yelling in my face that stuff is wrong. Good, cool. Look at how nice that is. Just to compare how much code this was before. Don't accidentally have to then redo it. Oh, look at all that, how complicated it is. And it trims all the way to that. It's nicer. It's just up, down with a negative, front, back with a negative, right, left with a negative. Handy dandy. And then apply the thing down here as we do. Cool. So, well, technically now I can, well, the next bit is the edge infos with these slices. This now also has to convert similarly, which, actually, wait, no, are you gonna, oh, wait. No, are you gonna have problems? No, you're fine, right? Yeah. The center info, this is gonna be exactly the same as the center info, so yeah. So this should be able to take in this, and this is gonna be this middle slice M turn directions. And this is in the positive direction. All of these are gonna be positive, so that's good. Then do I get to just delete this? Yeah, right here, right now, and then oh, wait, this, well, that just goes straight into there, and it's going to return new directions, so it's fine to get rid of those and not have to replace them with anything, I think. Except, well, I'm going to have to make this up here. Technically, I guess technically I could do a return right up here, but nah. Nah, I'll just, new direction, whatever. It could also be an out variable. It's a case where there's many different ways to approach this problem. I'll just go with the way that I've been kind of sticking with. Okay, so blue doo boo, dis be do. This had an incorrect comment, but whatever, it's fine. Is this actually still in the utility function? I'll make it generic. Make new direction enum. turn direction enum, I don't know, and then turn direction enum string. That's fine, I guess. It's whatever. Blah, 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 blah. What's good to be? Okay. Either way, this gets to, so from putting in this, and this one gets the E thing here, and all of this gets to, once again, vamoose. Don't delete the wrong things. We're also making a lot of changes without testing them because all this is like gonna be erring for a bit until I kind of have most of them in place. So I'm gonna hope this is all gonna work out and do all this, and then it's all just curse blows. But I guess we have to find that out when we get there. Oh, I did. Actually, I couldn't say a bit too much before. That's fine. Okay. Yes, continuing. So now we get the new direction, and then we're gonna return, just get rid of this. We just get it and we return it, but then just to have the code not yell at us, so it can get off our backs, we put in the default return thing, and look at how much smaller and nicer that is. Oh, you have a, oh, well, right, I guess, okay, well, okay, this is a special case because I have to return a direction, and I can't just, yeah, okay, fine. This is an exception to because I specifically I can't have it be null anywhere. But like either like it's gonna be one of these cases, so okay, we'll just I guess stick with what I had. We'll go direction dot up in here maybe just so it's, I don't know, more consistent with what I had in the other places, I guess. Sure, this should never run, but if it did, it will return a direction, which is not good, but it won't mess things up. I guess, actually, before I then move on to this, I can test that these things are working. It's just, in theory, all this should have the same functionality, it's just simplified. Let's see if things are broken so far. Please don't be. Looking good. Looking good. It's holding itself together. Fantastic. Good. Why are there two things open? When I made that new script, it made a new thingy here. I guess that's fine. We'll close this and it's all good. Okay. Lastly, we have to do the same thing one more time on the corners. Except the corners so far just have, or they don't have any of the slice stuff. And this is already a case where I guess I had with the slice edges, but where I have a function that within this just to, you know, save code or whatever. Now we're gonna be doing even more so. Okay, so for the edges here, it's basically gonna be copying this. Can I just copy this directly? Like the whole thing? I think so. Yeah. At least that bit can, not all of it. I don't think I can, I don't think I should try to simplify it, like combine the edge and corner stuff into another utility function for this. I think that would be unwise, maybe. But this specifically all of from here to here might be able to just save me time and just whoop, whoop. Make sure I got everything I meant to from left to the up there, and bam. And then just got to make new direction here. Whoa. Well, no, I wanted. Okay, blah. Whoops, pressing wrong buttons. It's fine. Okay, blah blah blah. I should be able to get rid of this line because old direction is passed right to there. Okay, this won't take as long. Cool. This was the bit that needs to match, I guess, down here, where it just returns something. I could have just typed that, but whatever. And then you make that, and then you return it. All right, that didn't take you. The corner width didn't take nearly as long, just with clever copy pasting. Cool. Although, is it? I mean, it kind of is the case that is this basically the same as, well, this apply direction date changes up, down, left, right, blah, 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 blah. This one, it's similar, but it needs this bit at the beginning and the end, and like, yeah, and then this down here is different because it's testing the slice moves. Yeah, I guess while I'm here, I can put in this one for the S move that should be this that I think already exists. Yeah, making the S move with this should be a breeze in theory. Let me just double check that corner stuff didn't break it. We're not gonna have S moves just yet. I put in some of the code, but not the code that's not gonna be able to generate S moves as far as like the beginning of it goes. But look at that, corners still functional. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so now I guess that cleanup is done. This is now much nicer, and it'll be nicer when we, continue into, well, we'll see if how much of this we'll be able to apply to whole cube turns and, wide moves and stuff like that, but for now, it's great, and a lot nicer, and something I should have done earlier, but oh well, did it now. It's fine. Yay. Okay, so next thing is now getting S moves to work, which I already, well, the fact that I started in some places, I need to make sure it's like, correct. I think let's start at the top here and start actually getting the input for it to exist. So for the auto move generator, we put in the S there, and whoop-de-doo, that's that, and updating the number so they can actually generate that type of move. For my input, putting that here, I can put in an S. It's gonna be typing S on the keyboard, or 9, just to be able to, the option to be able to go all the way along the top, I guess. Yeah. And then, so that's generating the string to put in, and then we pass it into here. The reason that this is separate, like we generate a string to then test what the string is, because eventually, as I said, we want chat to be able to control this. So this will eventually be, well, some other code we're going to write that's going to be a big pain in and of itself is reading in chat input. But once we hypothetically do that, that's going to be just their message, the message passed into here as a string. So that's why I'm turning the input into a string that passes in here, just have that framework in there to then turn a string into finding out what type of move that is. And yeah, all that sort of stuff. Which, well, there'll need to be additional stuff like, we'll get there, but the thing that's gonna, weed out what is a valid move and what's just nonsense, garbled text and whatever, but, we'll get there. We'll get there. I mean, to some degree, testing the cases of that is matching these things is part of that. But anyway, and then I could up top test like the total length of the string in general and whatever. But anyway, blam blam. This okay. Okay. So we then down here instead of E, we're testing for S. Type move is slice. Slice direction is S, and then the axis to turn on for a slice move is like the direction that looking at it is clockwise. Looking at the front, a slice move is this, so it's the front face, which is weird. It's the only one that matches, like, with the other turns. I think of the positive direction as being front in Unity speak is going to be forward. In the way that we have this set up. For the normal turns, I treat front up right as like the positive directions, but for the slices, it's effectively left down and front, kind of, in terms of a direction to look at for it to be clockwise, which is weird, but oh well, it's fine. Okay, this, and then all of this should be fine down here. This is the thing. I don't know if this I should try to. It could be a similar thing to like clean up into a function, because I mean, right now this is gonna be the same case where it's just a case function that's just to try parsing into a different thing. But oh well, for now it's fine. Here, like in terms of like trying to simplify like these just a couple lines of code here, or even just like the one for the if statement of like some generic try to convert or whatever. I could do it hypothetically, but yeah, we'll get to it. I mean, I'll need something to test. Is it an M? Is it an E or whatever? The thing I would be potentially narrowing down is not repeating the stuff inside the if statement, but oh well, it's fine. Okay. Actually, you know what? If I really want to just simplify it just that little bit to be a bit nicer, I can just go have this switch statement just to make some Boolean. Bool, I don't know, valid center or something equals false. And then all of this to test, just to see what the if statement is. If valid center, then that be the same as the if statement here. And then, well... Okay, well, actually, this is... Okay, actually, now that I look, this is not actually saving that much, but... Oh, well, whatever. It's maybe slightly, just looks less repetitive. And then if I did want to change something inside the if statement, it's just a little bit easier, I guess. So I don't know how much that's worth doing, but whatever. Well, if I'm also to name this slightly better, valid center. Is there a bit if center contains if center this is like if the slice contains center. That's a slightly more descriptive name. That's more less generic. Center slice contains center. Okay, so potentially this could be more narrowed down, but I'm fine with this as it is, I guess. It is a few more lines of code. It didn't actually... Well, yeah, it did reduce a little bit, but then just changing this hypothetically is a little bit better. Yeah. Actually, wait a minute. I'm a fool. I don't need an if statement for that anymore. It's just... This equals the Boolean that gets spat out by this. Okay, better. Yeah, okay. 'Twas a fool. It's fine. Okay, then that, and then this blarg, and da-da-da-da-da. And we good on... Oh, why did... Wait, what happened? Oh, the blah, it didn't get to that bit. Okay, good, fine. That's cleaner. This equals that, and then yeah. And then Casey... Yeah, then there's no... I need to test this to know which thing to use. So there's not too much of an... Like, somewhere I'll need to test based on this be different thing. So there's no point trying to, like, convert this into some generic T function or whatever. It'd be the same. Okay, so now, quickly, same thing on the edges, which is slightly more complicated because there's two things that get tested here. Which... Yeah, that, and then that. Okay, so if I'm to quickly convert it in the same way, make a bool down here. That's like slice contains edge, and I don't need two booleans here. It's still just one boolean that like both of these bits of the statement need to be true. What's your problem? Oh, it's never used because I don't use it yet. Okay, before I do anything, let me just copy one of these out here. Change this to like. This if slice contains edge, do that stuff. Now this can be replaced by basically this. Okay. Then well, at this point then it's just copying. Oh, here. If you can't tell, I prefer when able to copy and paste similar code and then change it rather than retype it all from scratch. But, and sometimes then I don't exactly change the right things, but, oh well, I take my chances with that. Which I almost did here. This has to change to the E version. Is that good? So M, E, E. I added the S case here. I should do that here. So this is new. S. All right. And then if it contains it, then it does the stuff it did before. Fantastic. And for this bit out here, it doesn't, like, this that unparents and then sets the thing, it passes in the slice direction. It doesn't need, inside there it does the more testing, but that's fine being that way. Cool. So, I don't know if I missed anything. The chance I might have. Let me just have a quick skim through. Now, inside all of this, I have the stuff for S. And edge, I have the stuff for S. Corner doesn't need to know anything about slice moves. Yeah, which is great, because before, when we were theorizing how to do this in the first place, in terms of how a piece would track where it was, I was considering having, like, one edge would have a list of two center infos that point to the centers that it's currently beside. I was like, oh, that seemed like maybe a way that could... help track where a piece is, and then know whether it's solved if it's beside the two centers that it started with or something like that. But then we realized that'd be more of a pain of when we do a turn. Normal turns like this, it's fine. I mean, just change the one piece what center it's attached to. But when we did M moves or slice moves, we would then have to, like, pieces that didn't turn would have to update, what center they're now attached to, and that just seemed clunkier. Messier to keep track of that. Here, like the way that we're doing it now, we only have to care about the pieces that actually physically turned, and that's just nicer, I think. So let's see if slice moves are working. So this should be white going down here, and it should, you know, go in this direction. Please work. Yeah. It's the wrong direction, but it's technically working. That's the wrong way. Let me just double check that. So that hold on. This should be an S move is down. It is down. It is this way. So orange should be up rather than red being up. Okay, it's technically like that's a promising start. I have to see, I have to double check that it works. You know, doing an S move and then doing another turn that it stays being correct. That should just be, that's a simple change. It's just that, this I put forward instead of back, which actually, I'm realizing that based on how I define this. I imagined it pointing through, which points in the forward direction. Well, actually, no, up points down. Why is it, no, yeah, well, yeah, back being -1 pointing through. I will, there's a way that makes sense, but whatever, it's fine. In theory, assuming I have this right, S should work now. Oh, yeah, woo! I think F was the same way, right? It should match whatever I had under F, which F has back, because just reasons of how that needed to work, and then B was forward, yeah, just because of how that needed to work to be the directions it needed to be. Cool, look at that turning, and now if I turn on the auto-turny thing, everything looks like it's turning, and doing the S turns, and then it doing other turns after that. Everything is all crisp loading, which is fantastic. This auto turn thing, we made it more for fun towards the beginning, but it's actually been very helpful to thoroughly debug that all the different turns are working. After you do a lot of turns, there isn't any weirdness that shows up. But yeah, fantastic. Woo! Look at all that work. Awesome. And with that, I guess I can up slice moves working. I'm gonna up that 7, 8, 9. I guess I didn't test individual. Let me double check that each individual one. It should have probably likely done every variation by now, but normal S works, Shift S works, and Control S, that also works. Yeah, huzzah. And then I didn't really test my numbers across the top, but like each of them is doing a turn. That's probably the correct one. Yeah. I mean 6, 7, 8 is what we added as M. Wait, no, sorry. 7, 8, 9 was M, E, and S, which are all turning the correct ways. Awesome! Woo! Yeah! It's working! Woo! All right. And now we are at a state where, well, theoretically, if I wanted to solve this now, which I don't know if I want to do that right now, but I hypothetically could, I at least solve like the first couple things. We are in a state where solving this now is, I mean, it's still, you know, a pain solving it, this versus the real one in terms of like, you know, be able to do it fast and doing all the correct moves. But, being able to turn centerpieces, if I turn stuff the right direction, is now far easier, just in that, like, you know, the cube starts, actually, if I'm to get back to its initial orientation, that on top, and then, like, oh, past it, there. So now this is the centers being where they started and all that stuff. When I solve a Rubik's Cube, it gets scrambled with white on top, green in front is the standard. But then most people that solve Rubik's Cube will then flip the white to the bottom immediately and then solve white on the bottom all the way up until yellow being on top. And then whatever like side you're looking at will change very frequently, depending on just the immediate turns that you're doing. Yeah, some people who are mega awesome professionals can be color neutral with a Rubik's Cube, where they can very easily start with any side, top and bottom, and just make that work. I'm like, oh, you know, today, based on the way the solve looks, it would be easier to start with green on the bottom, and you solve your way up into then green being on top. And that's just, you know, insanity, but, I hypothetically hope to get there someday, but, you know, we'll see. Got a lot, very, very far to go. Anyways, I'm just curious to, now that we can actually have white on the bottom, and the faces should work properly. In theory, I can actually test, if I really wanted to, I could test looking at, you know, this cube here, that is actually the game view that y'all would see, and solving based on that. And, like, there's some sacrifices that need to be made, kind of. Like, if I'm looking at this cube, I can very easily, you know, peek to the different sides and look up or whatever. To do this, I would need to, you need to be able to have, well, I mean, the full cube turns is one thing, but even just, like, glancing at the bottom and glancing at the top, that's, you know, can't, like, some sacrifices need to be made. I've considered whether I wanted to, add in this thing, that some Rubik's Cube, digital Rubik's Cube thing has, where you can see the back faces. And, like, hypothetically, maybe, but I think I want to keep this simpler in terms of the visual here just being a cube and just leaving it like that. I guess, hypothetically, I could have, like, a thing you could... one of the commands could be a thing you type in chat that, like, turns on and off there being the visual for the back faces. That'd be interesting, hypothetically. But that's, like, yeah, things we don't need to worry about at this stage, I think. So if I were to quickly solve the cross, yellow... or if I can't even say the right colors, orange cross is solved. F being in front now being blue is great. It's just... in theory, I should try to solve it. Like, if I look around to the back like this, then, you know, this isn't F. This is B, right? Well, because it's going to be a bit more, you know... it's still not going to be perfect as long as I don't have the wide moves and the turning the whole cube moves. But at the very least, this is just more... I mean, a little bit better to... well, at the very least, just, you know, I was able to turn... I was able to turn, you know, white facing down. But I can fake doing full cube rotations through a combination of slice moves and turning whole cube moves. Hypothetically, it's not, you know, ideal, but... and here I am, you know, turning the whole thing like this. If I want that green... actually, you know, let's solve it with it facing the back. This would be from the front, looking at it this way. This would still be, L... no, wait. No, I don't want to make, I want to turn D, L... nope, L prime, and then D prime. Wow, look. The white cross exists. I don't know if at some point I should actually do something so you can see more of a separation between actual pieces rather than being, like, one big face, but... we'll get there. Okay, white cross exists, and, you know, just for funsies, let's put in some corners. This corner goes here, and, hold on, let me just... from here, let's do... if I want to turn the whole cube around, it's going to be, E2, U2, D2, and now it's all turned around, I guess. And I want to then go, well, yeah, I guess we'll go F, and then... U, and then F prime, and then U prime, and then well, not that. No. I do wrong turns. Make sure to undo them. Oh, I didn't make another. I didn't make another F2L pair by mistake. That would have been great. And then U prime, and then R prime. There. Wow, look. If you zoom in really close, it's like I've solved the cube from this side. Ha 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 ha. Okay, if I'm to look at what's next. I don't know if I'm gonna go with this. I don't know if I want to do a full solve right now. I did do it before. The fact that I did it before almost makes me more tempted to want to do it now. I see at least one thing I can do with, hold on, with, how to just get used to what turns are what is a thing. And I made the numbers on the top to hypothetically, like, not have to, you know, then search around the keyboard for the letters I'm looking for. But actually, like, oh, I want to turn this. What letter is that? Rather than what number did I make certain things is easier. I feel like at some point, once I have the full chat thing working, it's I'm gonna have to solve this through actually typing and sending chat commands, and that'll be a whole thing. Although when I do that, I eventually want to have it be a thing where you can type in multiple turns in one line. So you can be like, let's say, you know, exclamation mark, you know, Rubik's turn or whatever, and then like F. R, U prime, D2 or whatever. You type all that in one message, and then it'll cut it up and then send each turn individually, so you could put in full algorithms. So if I wanted to do a T-perm algorithm, then I could, once you look up T-perm, copy that, and then paste that in, and like that would be cool. That would make that considerably easier, but mainly for the later step of stuff. But okay, so this is gonna be L, and then U, U, and then at the very least, this is getting me better practice at, like, and part of this is me just, like, mispressing buttons, but part of this is me, like, you know, just pressing the wrong directions for what turns are certain things. So, like that, I want to put that up, and that was F prime. So, in a way, there's some, in some fashion where this is, like, practice for me, but there's also some turns that I would normally do here that I'm doing, like, the simpler to comprehend things here, so I don't lose track of pieces trying to do complicated algorithms. But anyway, like, that should have gone to that. Yeah, should be F prime. But hey, look, all of that is solved. Wow. Over here. Oh, no, I can't. I was learning F2L algorithms earlier today, and I specifically learned this as one of the cases. I can't. Can I quickly recreate it? Hold on. Let me just. I'm gonna see if I can. There's no way I'm gonna be able to memorize exactly what it is, but let me just see if I can, like, roughly, hold on, let me just have you in backwards, and then, well, actually, that's not even what I wanted to do. Hold on. That's with orange being at the bottom, hypothetically, so if I, like, did that, and then purposely solved you the wrong way. There we go. You look here, just looking at those two pieces, it matches. Well, I'm mirrored, but, like, so, like, in my webcam, it looks like it's going that way. In real life, it's mirrored. Like, it's the other way around. Okay. So, if I'm to know what turns to do here, I don't even. I tried to learn so many algorithms in a short period of time. It's no wonder that I don't remember them all. So what, like, well, I learned some fancy algorithms for this. Yeah, I am forgetting. So I'm just gonna have to just do that. That was inefficient, but whatever. I guess it'll work. Which I did. Okay, I set that up hoping I could remember the more fancy thing to do. I could not. We're just gonna manually. Can I? Oh no! Hold on. No, I'm not gonna be able to. Hold on. I want to do a tiny bit more messing around. Okay, this, and then this, and then just for funsies. Okay, it's back in. So, can I remember? Was it not like? No, it couldn't have been. No, but then that puts it the wrong way. There's definitely... Was it, like, turning it twice? Or doing, like, an F turn? Something like that? I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm definitely blanking. I was hoping I could just wildly remember. So, you know what? Actually, I'll Google it, because I have it bookmarked specifically. So, ha! I can at least be learning and finding way of actually doing this in less turns. Hold on, this and over here, F2L stuff. Waiting for page to load, and bam! And you can see from me going through stuff earlier today. I mean, well, okay, this is definitely not accurate now, but the algorithms that I learned at some point, but definitely most of them I've forgotten now, and some of them here. Better me doing a thing where maybe front, left, front, right, whatever. At the bottom, it's one of the last ones is this particular case, which also, by the way, this is part of what I'm trying to do in getting better at solving one of these is memorizing a lot of algorithms. Although a lot of these are more like intuitive than they potentially look. Like it's like, oh, you know, what are these letters? Oh, wow. Oh, this was one that I had as one I did was with wide moves. Oh, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, it's that, and then I'm not looking now. I'm there. We go. Yeah, hey, I kind of remembered it after just glancing at it. Then I was able to do it. So, haha. We don't have wide moves. We do have like wide moves mixed with like a wide move is this would be R and M prime. So technically it's doable. So you know what? Just for funsies, let's do this algorithm here. To do it here, I'm gonna look. Okay, so technically there is alternative that is. This. Actually, you know what? This technically it would be the easiest just to do that. Because I can just literally looking at just typing the things as they come. So this needs to be at front right. Currently, this is the front, so I need to do I need to move, turn stuff around. So whoops, no, so whoa. So E and then a U and then a wait, and then yeah, D prime. Yeah. Actually, I just read. So, wait, hold on. I have to turn. Wait. Yeah, no. It was E prime, so D prime, so it'd be the same direction, right? Okay. I thought something was the wrong way around. No, it's fine. Okay. So in this, in theory, to get this in from this angle, I can just look and I can type R, U prime, R prime, F prime, L prime, U2, L, F. Ha! Look at that. Now that actually worked, which is cool. It's cool to do an algorithm and have it actually work. Now this I'm seeing in OLL case that I for 2-look OLL for a 2-look OLL I see a case that I recognize. And then okay, so which to execute that as turns like this. So F. Wait, no, hold on. Oh, wait, actually, I have a line here, so it's da. So, oh, wait. No, wait, what? Oh, whoops, oh. Hold on. Now, why have I just, like, why has all memory been lost? No, it's this. Okay, it's fine. No, it's not. Wait, how did I, what the heck did I just? I just did it with muscle memory, and for some reason doing it slow, I'm just struggling to, so it's that, and then yeah, it's, yeah, okay, it's fine. Okay, so it did that bit, blam, and then, yeah, it did, yeah, okay, it's fine. R, U, R prime, U prime. Oh, that back there is not promising. Okay, I messed it up. Whoops. Well, I can at least fix this with just going to the, and then going F, and then. Okay, so how am I messing this up with is R U prime U prime? No, oh, did I type a letter from what I meant to, and that's why that white piece went all the way around, possibly. And now it's the T kind of. Well, we're gonna, whoop, not that either. Okay, hold on. We're going F, R U. R prime, U prime, and then F prime. Bam! We got the yellow cross on top. Oh, and now we got, oh, this is an interesting OLL for this particular occasion. This is the one where you do this and then do R, U, R prime, U prime 3 times. So R, U, R prime, U prime. No, it didn't turn the right way. Oh, wow. So I must just be letting go of shift too early. Okay. R, U, R, whoop. R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. Which is, oh, hey, whoa! Oh, no, for a second I thought we got a PLL skip. I was about to be so, great if we were done, but, no, it is not the case. Okay, so now we have, I guess at this point, I guess we're solving this thing. Oh, no. I'm gonna turn the whole cube to the side a little bit. So, that's gonna be, E prime, D prime, U. There we go. So this is a PLL case. This is J-perm that I actually don't know. I really should know, but I haven't gotten around to memorizing all the PLLs yet. I basically just do T-perm enough times that I need to get the corners all good, and then usually then I'm in a case where you have like a U thing of edges, and then I solve that. I just today, though, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you have, well, I know that if you have the two, actually, let me just set this up easier to explain. Hold on. Blah, anti-soon, and then blah, this. Actually, wow, the thing that I was, happened to happen. Well, you have this where, yeah, these are across from each other. This is Z perm, I think. So, shoot. I learned this a little earlier today. Another was trying to learn many algorithms at once to not have to deal with this again. Of manually doing like 2 algorithms, just a pain that makes this just like, don't like seeing this. What was it? Do I remember it? It is, it's a combination of M and U moves. It's like M2, U, M, U2, M, U2, no, I've definitely, wow, okay, well, I was able to get the cube back to not being a complete scramble. I didn't do what I meant to do. Oh wait, no, did I? But then I was facing the wrong way? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Did I actually, well, I kind of messed it up and then undid my messing up, but hold on, let me just, if I can have, this has nothing to do with the coding of this, but this is my own, just like, if I happen to, as I'm trying to memorize stuff, and I can remember it without looking it up, that's just, you know, helping it cement in my brain better. What did I do? I went this, and then like, and then, no, I feel like I've done bad. Oh no. Oh, wait, that looks okay. Well, no, I definitely messed things up, but let's see how it looks very close to being solved. Let me just, the thing I was getting at is also that now that this is done, we could move on to the next thing of doing full cube turns, but I think now is a good time for me to end stream probably. Actually, I am out of time with it being midnight. At first I was like, hey, I was thinking that hey, we're finishing with the slice stuff. We might actually finish before midnight. Didn't quite go that way, but oh well, got a slightly longer stream out of it, I suppose. Let me just skim down to this guy. What? Look at that. That was the thing I was trying to do. Let me just. Oh, this is like. That, and then and then back to. Glad I didn't have to do a full solve there just to fix that one weird corner. Real quick, let me just do, because this is gonna like, okay. And, so what did I mess up? Oh, I started with an M2, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Okay, so from here, blah, blah, da, 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 da. Yeah, okay. Anyways, we'll see if I'm not doing that much right now with, like, trying to actually memorize it at the moment. That's for me for later. But I do want to, the thing I was getting at that I took forever to get to my point is I want to specifically look up this PLL, look at the algorithm, and then just type that in and be done for this for right now. So there's one of the J perms, which is it this one? These guys need to go here and this going there. Yes, okay, so it is this one, not this one, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's these two need to swap and these two need to swap. This website doesn't have like the arrows, but apparently it's better to learn rather than just learning the arrows, looking like what colors actually need to go where. It's better for the long term. So whatever. Anyways, so solving this. I don't need this. We're literally just gonna, I'm looking at this and we're just gonna type it in and it's gonna hopefully work. So R, U, R prime, F prime. Pay extra attention to that I don't press the wrong buttons because that'll mess up everything. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R. And with one final turn, U prime. Woo! Look at that. That is a solved cube. Booyah! Technically did it with some cheating, but stuff that I wish to memorize at some point. And it'll be nice when eventually when this has the functionality, maybe I'll just paste in a full algorithm. Yeah. Anyway, algorithms that I don't as much. Some like T perm. I just kind of da 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 da. I don't have this memorized by the letters per se. It's all just muscle memory at this point, so translating that into the letters to type is funkier. But I guess to get back to truly how we started, I'm gonna just flip it around just by going doing the S move that we programmed last. So well, on S2, F2, B2, and then oh well that didn't actually hold on, and then well yeah that, and then E2, and then D2, and bam, that is properly how we started. I'm curious how the centers have. Oh no, they can't have well technically I guess yeah, technically this would be at 0 if it was in its true starting position. So technically the center isn't turned the direction that it started in, which is interesting. All the edges and corners are proper. It's just technically these are turned wrong, but not really. But that's yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we made good progress today, I think. We got slice moves done. We got and it just cleaned up some of that code that made that better. So woo. Yeah, and we technically have kind of the capabilities of doing full cube rotations. Also, let's turn on the scramble it up. Turn on the auto scrambler. Yeah. It would be cool, hypothetically, if I say that like long term, it'd be cool, very cool if I could make some kind of auto solver thing, which there's two forms of that, right? There's somehow, if there's just some kind of online database that I can like type in some converted data of what pieces are where, have it do some calculations and spit out a 20 move or less algorithm that auto puts that in and then solves the cube. That'd be one thing that'd be cool. Would be extra cool. Would be cool in a different way. Is if I could make some kind of auto solver that solves kind of like how people realistically solve Rubik's Cubes. Like doing even just a beginner CFOP method. And if I did that, hypothetically, I could split it into chunks. Like make an auto cross solver. I mean, that sounds very, like somehow the earlier steps sound extra hard. And make an auto F2L solver. Like that sounds also, like that sounds actually the worst. OLL and PLL, even 2-look OLL and 2-look PLL, which are just more beginner ways of it that have less algorithms in it. In theory, if I just have all of the individual algorithms for that in a database, so like, just to look at over here, just to go into this, 2-look OLL, bam. There's only this many algorithms to, do things, right? It isn't one of these, yeah, this is T-perm, yeah. This is one I know. In fact, I also know Y perm, but I don't know H. These other ones, which, but I'm hoping to eventually. Or no, this is. Oh, the Z one is in here. Yeah, right. That's yeah. Or is that no? Yeah, no, that's. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah. Well, technically, actually, these U ones are ones that I know, but the algorithms I use for these aren't optimal, so I'd like to relearn the more optimal stuff. Anyways, but actually going into OLL might be better to just over here, because the first thing it's like you saw the corners and then the edges or whatever, but over here I can see. So to look OLL, you start with this like, well, basically this is more complicated, but from dot L and line and then full cross, you kind of can get away just doing variations of one algorithm to get all of those cases and just doing it over and over. So in theory, if I wanted to hypothetically build kind of a CFOP auto solver thing, that would be where I'd start. Start like one step at a time. And this, in theory, would be the easiest step to do. Hypothetically, I just, like, so if I have this stuff to, well, one, I make some assumptions. I say, if we are at this state, I don't care about the rest of the pieces. I only am caring, like, I'm assuming that we are starting, if I'm making like a auto OLL solver thingy, we're assuming that we're in the OLL state and everything is valid, and we're only entering in valid, cube states, right? So, we'd start in a scenario where, like, we're like this. And then in theory, I can then, if I'm assuming we're solving white cross on the bottom, yellow on top, I could then hard code look at all the yellow pieces, and then, well, I mean, for OLL, you only are needing to look at the positions of yellow pieces. Assuming you're not going to, like, there's, like, way more complicated advanced stuff, but, like, obviously I don't need to worry about that for this. But hypothetically, I could just look at the yellow faces and know which ones are oriented correctly and which ones are not, which I have that information based on my edges having the thing of whether they're, like, up, front, or front up. That stuff is relevant for whether a piece knows whether it's oriented or not. Then I can just feed it into pre-compiled list of algorithms. And no, like, this website is cool in that it has, like, multiple suggested things. I mean, I guess I would just, well, actually, like, at that point, it doesn't even matter if an algorithm is complicated. It could have funky, like, S moves or whatever, right? But I mean, in theory, you just go with whatever the standard thing here is and just go with that, even if it has wide moves. Or I could go with whatever is the shortest move count, whatever it is. That could also be thinking if I wanted to make it more optimal, but it shouldn't matter in theory. But I look at this and I, see, like, what pieces are optimal, which aren't. Feed that into a precompiled database and then put in the algorithm, put that out there, and then have it do. Then, like I said, then I do the second part, which same deal for specifically OLL, and even one look OLL. That's in theory, it's just more cases. It's just be a bigger dictionary to check in theory, or if I even store it that way. But it's just, the 52 cases or whatever. So it sounds simpler almost to start with the two OLL just because it'd be simpler. I thought there was 54 algorithms. Why is there 57? Or is there different variations of stuff that's like the same way or something? Or I don't know. Is it 57? Why did I think it was 54? Maybe it was 57, yeah. And then the PLL is 26 or something like that. I'm just curious just to see the number it is. Why there's not a number there? I'm not going to count this right now, but whatever. It's fine. Anyways, but and then PLL. Well, this sounds, well, actually, detecting this hypothetically sounds hard, but. Well, yeah, the yellow. Just looking at the yellow sounds simpler, but in this, then we're looking at, like, pieces and where they are relative to where they should be. And in theory, if I have some way to cobble that data together into some database of what situations mean what algorithms, then in theory it's more. Yeah, that might not be that bad. And there's only 26 cases for PLL, so that's less cases to check, and then even less if I did the OLL thing. In which case, then I'm only looking first at corners and where they should be, and then edges and where they should be. Which, that, to some degree, once I have a thing that can detect is the cube solved or not, then it's a matter of just looking at pieces and are they in their solved position, yes or no, and then, like, well, not just that, but, like, where are they relative to where they should be. Which might be funky, especially because then I'd also, for all of these cases, you have to be able to know all these cases based on also having the U moves involved. They're, like, simplified of, algorithm, if I do that, how did I mess up T-perm? That, bleh. One second. Just, one second. Yeah, good enough. Well, yeah. Well, no, this is an OLL case, but, and I wanted to set up T-perm. Oh, this is Y-perm, which I actually know. This is Y-perm where you'd face this way and do a particular algorithm. You gotta be able to recognize it from this way, or this way. So that would also be a thing that the program would need to hypothetically know or be able to simplify, which, yeah, is a whole thing. So in theory, though, hypothetically, splitting it up like that, like, the OLL thing seems feasible and, like, something I could reasonably do, and once the stuff is in place to even have that cobbled together of having some way to represent stuff of the cube and fed into a list of algorithms and then spitting out and doing the algorithm. PLL is just an extension of that. Just the detecting the states is a little bit more complicated, but I feel like with enough planning, it's potentially doable. So that's half of CFOP that is, I think, is within my programming capability to program an auto cube solver, which sounds very cool. Even if I was like to manually solve the first bit and be like, now it's in this state, and then I press the like solve OLL button. Actually, O and P aren't used on my keyboard in terms of the stuff going into this program, and turns already in place. So I can just, you know, press O and it automatically does the OLL step. That would be funny. And then P and it automatically does the P step. That would be great. That'd be fantastic. And then on top of, yeah, so that would be very cool. Then hypothetically, then auto-solving the cross and F2L. That gets way more tricky because in real life, that's more of an intuition thing, less algorithms. I mean, there are algorithms, like technically, you do have, you have, well, cross-train, and you have, you know, basic cases with F2L. These exist, and this also could hypothetically be fed into a database, but it's harder to, like, this requires you to, like, well, first, I'd have to set up these cases where, you know, you have a particular corner and then its edge is somewhere. It's like above the right spot and it's not put in somewhere else. Like, yeah, this would be harder to like make sure I cover every case and things aren't going to go wrong, right? So, but actually, well, I mean, well, then there are the variations of front, left, back, right. Like, I am not having to learn these algorithms, you know, just feed into a massive database that I got to make sure it's correct for all these algorithms. But there's some cases that don't technically apply to here, where you gotta, like, take out pieces and whatever, but, that also sounds more complicated. And then the cross, well, the cross, in theory, is only looking at, 5 pieces, right? The four edges and the center. And somehow figuring out how to get them in there. Actually, I mean, if I'm to extra simplify things, when you're a super, like, beginner of doing Rubik's Cube stuff, you learn the daisy thing. You know, step 1 of solving Rubik's Cube is doing this daisy thing up top, where, oh, I have the edges. Instead of starting at white, you just get any edge up beside yellow, and it doesn't matter where they are. And then up beside yellow, and then, wherever the other one is. Well, it's still, like, yes, up beside yellow, but, like, it doesn't matter the order, or, like, whatever. There's some moving around required, but I guess it's a bit simpler, and then whatever. And then you follow it up by that, just, you know, matching an edge with that face, and then turning it around, matching it, you know, turning it around, matching it, turning it around. That, in terms of getting a computer to do that, that sounds more doable than programmatically finding the best way to, you know, get particular edges in, or whatever. Huh. So, like, I was starting this by being like, oh, yeah, it sounds like making an auto-solver thing would be very hard. And it would be very mega difficult. But splitting it up like that, it sounds a bit more feasible than I once gave it credit for. And almost becomes more of like a, it went from being more of like a, you know, a very like dream thing, like, oh, it'd be cool to have, but realistically, that might never happen. It's actually now, I think, more in the, at least doing it the way I described it, where it wouldn't be a perfect, amazing solver, but just being able to do it at all, doing individual steps at all, sounds very cool. Even just the experience of programming such things just sounds cool. Yeah, it sounds potentially doable, which is cool. Anyway, it is 12:09, so I do gotta stop here very shortly. I'm just gonna finish solving this, though, just because. And, yeah, almost there. I find, why is it that, like, when I'm not doing it with a timer, I feel like I made less mistakes, made less wrong turns there, but whatever, it's fine. It wasn't flawless, made some mistakes, but oh well. So we definitely wouldn't do that though, this potential auto solver thing, until like further down the line when this thing is more just functional in the first place. Like the next thing that we need, if I'm gonna go back to my planning, is that we have, oh, I closed that down over here. I would say that we are done slice moves, which the thing of having a hidden corner piece, don't have to touch corners, that worked. We did the things that it needed to do. Fantastic. The next things that we will be doing next time that we work on this are turning the whole cube, which I don't know how that's going to go. And that's going to involve corners, right? Like that is going to be a case where we're going to be needing to, I think that we use that core piece, parent everything. There's no question of what we do or don't corner, or parent. It's going to be everything goes in and then turn and then everything comes out. The issue is just going to be updating every piece on where it has now moved to and seeing whether or not that's going to be an issue. Although it might not be that bad. It might just be a matter of using the same, well, actually, yeah, it might just be a matter of using the same trick of having these direction things. I don't know if I'll need to define a new one for whole cube turns in different directions. I might be able to steal the ones for front, right, and up. Well, if those match, I'll see. I'll have to see. Well, technically, some of these match some of these. It was just easier to make them their own. It was just simpler to read. So I might make them their own anyway, even if some of them match, just to have it be simpler. We'll see. Slice directions might have an XYZ as well. A lot of things, it's like, we'll see when we get there, but I have kind of an idea, like, of how we're going to do it. It's going to match this, potentially. It might be hard, might have some difficulties, but I think it's, doable. And then after that, then we'll do wide moves, which will be interesting. I then have to, like, figure out how I'm going to do that on the keyboard, like, on my keyboard of just inputs where, right now, I press a key and capitalization doesn't matter. I think when we do this, I was saying before I could have it be tied to Alt, like Alt plus a letter will be the wide move version, and like that will work well enough. Yeah. And then at that point, then we have all the moves functional, and I think that's the point where I then might try to have the fake chat input. Well, have a fake chat input field as just like temporarily having an input thing off to the side here, and then I could type in that just to act like typing in chat, typing in a thing. Actual chat integration. I don't actually know how early I want to do this. I mean, once that's done, then I can actually have it in the corner of the screen, but I kind of want to wait until it's more like a bit more polished, probably. Well, you just making a better model for the pieces, which I might do, which I got to then decide like what I want it to actually look like. If I want to perfectly match this cube, including the center things where you can see half of, like one color and the other on the inside. If I want to do that or not, we'll see. It'd be cool to do, I guess. We'll see how exact I want to go with that, but yeah. Oh, and then we also got to do the thing where with the actual game view down here, you got to hide the background, which I believe is a thing that you can do, which, yeah, we'll get to that. So that it can actually just be just the cube. Even technically the camera's aspect ratio right now, it's 16:9. I don't know if I want to change that to be like, a difference, but we'll see. I will get to that. Well, there's an additional thing on top of that where I don't know if I want to, if it's going to eventually be just the cube, or if then chat functionality is a thing. It'll be the cube, and then off to the side is like the most recent typed things or something like that. I don't know. Probably start with it being simple, and then you can experiment with adding such things, but anyways, doing lots of rambling at the end here. Basically to say that cube is coming along good, has a lot to go, but it is very cool how it is currently. It's good that that slice move stuff wasn't a huge pain. I was worried of how difficult it would be. All of this, it had the potential to be very difficult. But just the act of splitting it up, split up big problem into a bunch of little problems, and find clever solutions on how to do stuff. Yeah, so far it's going good. So we're gonna raise the desk here as we end things off for realsies. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be very busy tomorrow, so I think it's likely tomorrow will be a shorter stream despite it being Saturday. Oh, we'll see. Tomorrow was gonna be, tomorrow's Subnautica, right? Yeah, so hopefully it won't be too late on that. I'd like to have that be a longer stream because we're making cool progress in that game. Tomorrow will be Subnautica, and then Sunday, in theory, will be more working on the Handyman with a Unicycle, which that is currently having some troubles with the camera and player. Mostly like the camera stuff that we're doing that I'm still trying to sort out. So I was hoping to do more work on that off stream to then like be able to come back next stream and be like, haha, it's more functional now. But that's not quite the case. I've done some work on it between last time I was working on it and now, but it ain't done, and it's still far from being like super polished and stuff. But It's gonna get there eventually, I hope. That's being a lot harder than this Rubik's Cube thing is. I'm like, I think that the auto solver thing that potentially I want to do in here is potentially gonna be easier than, getting my camera and player system fully done and fully polished and whatever. At least this isn't having to deal with complicated physics stuff. And yeah, it's having to do with rotational things, but we're kind of past the point of having to deal with actually dealing with like quaternions and stuff. We have this stuff in place that it's just like, just gotta handle all the stuff around it. And like in autos, I don't know. This is like comparatively smaller scale in terms of being able to cut down stuff into like individual parts and whatever, where that, my platformer thing, trying to make a full game, having a player and camera that needs to like work in a lot of complicated situations with lots of physics and things that can break it, and accepting more complicated user input stuff with, you know, mouse and you know, all that. It's complicated, but we're gonna get there eventually. And then Monday will then be Final Doom again, and then Tuesday we'll be back to this. So in theory, we come back to this on Tuesday, maybe, unless my plans change, but we'll see, So anyways, I think we will wrap it up for now, and I'll find someone to raid real quick. Looks like who's it gonna be? Just find someone random in. Doing Unity stuff, possibly. We're gonna raid this person doing Unity 2D stuff, I guess. Galinith? Sounds cool. Alright, so, actually, let me just do the, typing the raid button, /raid, and then I'll outro. Bam. Good. Alright, so that'll do it for this live stream. If you liked it, look forward to more. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you around. Last minute, I was like, oh, which hand am I doing? And I flip-flopped it, whatever, it's fine. I'll see you around. Alright, okay, raid good to go. Looks like it. Neato. Alright, I will see you guys next time. This will stop cube for now. And yeah. Alright, if I have any other closing announcements, I've repeated myself and rambling an outro for way too long. That's all good. So yeah, already did outro, ready to raid. All buttons are as they should be. Let me prep this over here. Alright, now I'm going for realsies. See ya!